We're live.
Dinosaurs in the house.
The house. Friend Alec Brown of Browncast Ultra. There he is. Alex, say something so the camera cuts to you.
Dinosaurs in the house.
I'm guessing you watched it.
What?
The
Red
URL.
Letter.
Yeah.
I watched it after.
I told you not to watch it before the stream.
You said don't watch it before. I thought you meant the movie.
I meant before the stream because I wanted it to be all original thoughts. But
right. My thoughts were already formulated before I watched it.
Yeah, so are mine. So let's get into this shit. I'll start off by saying I had no desire.
Hold the fuck on, David. Here's what I'd like to bring up to you.
Okay.
Have you ever thought, when I look at, you've seen those commercials for the U.S. military, right?
Of course.
And you see those giant battleships and, planes and guys with guns and tanks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What I've always thought is, what would be better than all those? A dinosaur that can easily be shot with a pistol. Navy, accelerate your life with a pterodactyl.
Oh, well, I'll explain how messed up this movie is once we get there. Some of the backstory, though, is I'll say this for both of us. Alec grew up really enjoying Jurassic Park. As you can see, he has a Jurassic Park shirt. He likes dinosaurs. I think it's safe to say that. He knows a little bit about dinosaurs. He's by no means an expert. I definitely am fucking not. The only thing I said is I went Brontosaurus once during this movie. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So, and then I went pterodactyl, and that was only at the very end. The only reason I know some of those is I'm pretty sure those are also some of the names of a couple of rare Pokemon. Anyways, I didn't see Jurassic World 1 because, well, I don't know. It's a fucking dinosaur movie called Jurassic World. Like, next year is going to be Jurassic Universe, and it's dinosaurs in space. No, it's dinosaurs in space, and it's exclusively Jeff Goldblum, because here's the thing. He's going to go and retire
on
the Russian space station, and here's the thing. All of a sudden, he's going to be like, oh, what's that? Outside, and then he's going to look outside, and there's just going to be a dinosaur with a round concrete head, just with a space helmet on, and it's going to be
no. It's the crossover between Jurassic World and Independence Day cinematic universes.
True. Like Jeff Goldblum, we cut to him. This is a parallel universe, so this is like 1997, and he's on his Windows 98, because he gets all the new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's the top science researcher in his field. He gets all the quality shit. So he gets Windows 98, and he's going like, "Oh man, I'm putting in all this dinosaur DNA, and I'm not sure what to make of all of it. And hopefully, they don't make it." I swear. Okay, blah, blah. This movie, I had no desire to see it. I'll explain why before we get into the crux of what the movie's about and Alec and I's take. When I saw the trailer, I'll say this. I saw the trailer for this, and then I saw a poster on Highland Avenue that summed up how I feel about sequels to movies like that. It was a poster for Mamma Mia 2. Now,
Go on.
If you didn't see Mamma Mia 1, you're in for a treat, because they've only got more quirky shit happen, even though they completely resolved the first movie, and there is no second story to be told. Apparently there is. So I felt the same way about this movie as I did when I saw that poster for Mamma Mia 2, which is the tagline for Mamma Mia 2 is, "Here we go again." That could have easily been the tagline for this movie. And for about 2 or 3 days, I kept calling it Jurassic World. Here we go again. Because I got the two confused. And I can't wait for next year, Jurassic World, Mamma Mia. But I swear to God, I had no desire to see this because I know that these movies are made explicitly for the trailer. When they sell these movies to distribution companies and around the globe, they are selling a trailer. You are selling pretty people, a lot of action, dinosaurs, and some Asian guy so that China can watch it. And that's exactly what this movie was.
Well,
exactly
correction. What this movie was a remake of The Lost World. So Jurassic World was a remake of Jurassic Park. And then this is a remake of The Lost World. So which brings me to believe, like, the next movie has to be a remake of Jurassic Park 3. So really, what I'm saying is I want them to. What is the name of that actor that plays Grant?
Oh, fuck.
On Research Machine. What?
Not Laura Dern, are you?
No, Sam Neill. I want him to drag Sam Neill back into this franchise.
Oh God, and we'll get into how they fucking dodged that bullet. Here's the best part. In this movie, the opening of this movie is basically like, we know you didn't see Jurassic World 1, so fuck it. We'll just explain what that was in 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, it's more like, we know you didn't see Jurassic World 1, but China did, so here we go.
Yeah, Mamma Mia. Here we go again.
My. Dinosaur's gonna get ya.
Dinosaur's gonna get ya.
It's quirky and Greek and dinosaurs.
The next Jurassic World is gonna be a musical.
I would actually not be opposed to that.
I see only Alec would say something like that.
But I want it to be done to the brown pot. I want it to be done to
the brown pot. Anytime you say something that only you would do, gonna call it a brown pot.
I demand, though, it all be done to the music of ABBA.
That's what I'm saying. It's seriously gonna be Jeff Goldblum going, "Oh, what happened to our love? It seems so far behind."
That's going to be between Chris Pratt and that fucking raptor. Jesus Christ, the whole movie was about Chris Pratt and the huge boner he has for his fucking raptor. That's how angry I am. I have Allen wrenches to throw.
Before we get off on too many tangents, this movie will shit itself as we go through it. We don't even have to shit on it. We can just explain the facts of this movie, and you'll be like, they made a movie out of that? So the movie starts off, and
I have the description.
Yeah, go for it, please.
The movie starts off with, so David didn't see this, but David remembers the trailers for Jurassic World, and there was a giant water dinosaur in the water of Jurassic World. It was all over the trailers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. I even forgot that intro to the intro.
Yeah. So the water dinosaur. So these guys are in a tiny James Cameron deep sea scuba thing.
Yeah. It's a deep
and they're going to get the skeleton of the big raptor dinosaur from the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, excuse me. So they get the skeleton, and then their little sub gets chomped by the big water dinosaur, but they get the little piece of skeleton that they sent up on a rope. Now, my thing is, it's like, oh, whatever was down here is obviously dead. It's like, why take that risk? Why not have, like someone watching you instead of going in the dead of night during a rainstorm?
I'll say it's always during a rainstorm. Any conflict with dinosaurs has to be during a rainstorm. Go rewatch the movies and tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're right. But so then we jump to the guy who essentially there was a guy who had a little like tablet, which now it's like he had a little Samsung Galaxy 4 tablet.
Yeah,
and
Evidence A.
Yeah, which it's like which I love now. Tablets, like plastic squares with glass, are now replacing the hologram. Like, you remember the early 2000s when everyone did the Iron Man holograms, where you're like, now it's the tablet where you get
Captain, and you yell to a little Darth Vader on your wrist, and you go, Captain. Come get me, Captain.
Now you get the tablet, and even if it's off and has no brand name and it's just a plastic square, you're like, I'm opening the gate, guys. I'm opening it. And so he's opening the gate. I'm going to keep doing this. He's opening the gate for the sub guys, and he's like, sub control guys, I lost your signal.
Yeah, because even this technology, just like having a T-Mobile subscription. Oh no! Yeah. I lost the signal. They're 2,000 meters into the fucking ocean, and just because a mouth closes on it, they're like, "Whoa, wait! You're breaking up."
Dinosaurs break cell service.
Yeah, their skin cells.
But so the thing is, it's like, this guy, okay, so Jurassic World ends with the dinosaurs all being let out and they're roaming the island. So the problem is so this guy is like at like a big electric box doing his computer tablet garbage. And his team members are like half a football field away in the helicopter. It's like an unreasonable distance from him.
Yeah, by the way, he's like next to a landing pad. They could have landed right next to him.
Yeah.
There's no reason there couldn't have been. But here's the thing. I kept getting flashbacks to the scene in Tropic Thunder when they're making fun of the movie where they're like, you make it home now. Like it honestly felt like that, where it's like, come with me, you limp dick fuckers, or whatever. Like, I was waiting for Robert Downey Jr. to like, want some? Get some! Like, shotgun.
Yeah, you would think that, but it literally is like, the guy is like yelling, like the helicopter guys notice something going on in the bushes behind the tablet guy, who apparently can't, which this is something my younger brother brought up, which is a T-Rex isn't fucking sneaky.
No.
It's not sneaky.
It's making, even in the movie, they don't even attempt to make it sound like, wait, was that a noise?
Yeah, the guy's just like, I can't hear anything. My tablet is too loud. And so,
oh, by the way, he also has one ear open.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make any sense. It's literally like Alec right now hearing me talk and going, what? What'd you say?
Well, that's the best part. It's like he's got a radio in one ear, which would be connected to all the guys in the helicopter, but he can't hear them. And they're all yelling, get back on the helicopter. And he's like, what? I can't hear you. There's a loud dinosaur behind me. Oh, no. And so he gets got.
The classic Jurassic Park, like the lightning flickers and only the specific part of the branches is illuminated, and there's just a dinosaur head.
Correction, only the specific parts that ILM was willing to render.
Exactly. See, and everyone's like, man, I wonder why they shot this all in the dark.
But I love that. It's like, it's dark, it's rainy, but it's like the T-Rex can sneak up on anyone.
Well, it's like Tammy the T-Rex. It's it's on a platform, so it doesn't make any noise.
Just roll a team of guys just rolling it from place to place.
I can't hear you. The wheels of the platform are too loud.
I'm just imagining a T-Rex like stuck to a platform and being pushed by a bunch of like dudes, and it's like, welcome to Jurassic Park. It's like 1950s Disney World.
By the way,
But-
it's not even music. Like, it's that sound that's coming from the wheels that need to be greased on the cart. So it's going.
No, it's a kid that they made get in the costume, and he's got a mic. Can I go a break now?
Movie, holy shit! This movie might be one of the most predictable movies that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, they don't attempt to make anything mysterious. It's like the movie. Oh, by the way, the actress who is the lead actress, I'm gonna look up her name real quick on IMDb. Just
I can beat you. I can beat you.
tell me what her name is. Let me finish. It's this actress. She does this thing. This is like an actor critique. When you cry, your face needs to match your tears. Because a lot of her is doing this. She's going, but just tears are streaming down her face. And they're not out of joy or sorrow. They're just actor tears. It looks like someone just squirted water in her eye or waved a fan in her face until tears came out, regardless of whatever her face was doing. Because she has one where she does this, one of the opening shots of the movie. It's like, as we drive up the woods to the most CGI-looking mansion I've ever fucking seen.
And I've got a lot of beef with this fucking mansion and everything that goes on in it.
Oh my God. I mean, this feels like we could go on for like 5 times longer than this movie is, as far as complaints. Like, if you're really nitpicking it, my God, it's so bad. Because, oh yeah, starts off, she goes to this mansion. There's a guy there who's like, I want to help the dinosaurs.
Well, there's the assistant. So there's like the assistant guy who's like the bad villain of the movie who doesn't ever like do anything interesting. And then there's not John Hammond, the guy who's like, I'm like John Hammond in every way. By the way, I am his secret business partner that was never mentioned in the movies.
I was talking about that earlier, about how we're going to get into how they avoided needing him through this whole movie. It's like the biggest gaping chasm of a plot hole that you could just drive trucks through. So, anyways, I went too far. Before, there's the opening scene where they're introducing some of the side characters that are some of the worst side characters in the world. I'll give one of the actresses credit. There's this kind of cute Asian girl, half Asian, half white girl with like a gap in her teeth that is even wearing like a Jurassic Park shirt the whole movie. Just, merch. And then there's the guy who looks, the host on the show Westworld, who plays Bernard.
First off,
like that guy's kid.
Well, first off, I do have to say, oddly enough, that actress is Mexican.
What?
Yeah, she's Mexican. Her name is Daniela Pineda.
Yeah? Oh my God.
Yeah. And the character's name is Zia Rodriguez.
Well,
she looks Asian. You're not wrong. She looks Asian.
You know what I think it is? You know what that is?
Yeah.
She was adopted. Was adopted by some Mexican people.
No, she said she's a Mexican American.
Well, because she was adopted by Mexican people. But it's like,
I don't think that's how that works, but whatever. Maybe it's just a really good makeup job.
If you adopt a kid, you're not going to go like, you're just, I don't know. Fuck it. So she looks Asian as shit. Doesn't matter. But then there's this dorky guy, Captain Shithead, who is just like, they even say in the opening scene, they go, what do you do? And he goes, it's like, I plug in she goes, don't you plug in the cables? And then he literally turns into camera and he goes, it's much more important than people think. I wonder how this will come into play later. And then goes back to typing on a computer.
And fun fact, it really doesn't.
Yeah, it really doesn't, but we'll get into it. So the main actress, did you ever find her name? The main?
Yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard.
Okay, Bryce.
Her character name is Claire.
Oh, okay, yeah, Claire. So save the cheerleader, save the dream,
save the dinosaurs, save the dream.
So,
but if you save the dinosaurs, what will you become?
What if they fight you? What if they break you?
That would have been a better movie if that's who came rolling in the fucking wheelchair.
Just Forrest Whitaker just going, I'm in a secret pod this whole fucking time.
That would have been a better fucking movie if Forrest Whitaker had been rolling out in a wheelchair, but with the same like weird breath mask and armor. Just like, I came from Star Wars.
I came from Star Wars. Save the dinosaur, save the dream.
Yep. So Bryce Dallas Howard goes to see the she gets invited because at the beginning of the movie, Jeff Goldblum for his 30 seconds at the beginning of the movie is talking to Congress saying, kill the dinosaurs, fuck them. And the United States government is like, yeah, fuck these dinosaurs. And Bryce Dallas Howard is like, no, I'm part of a dinosaur activist group.
Fuck off. So like right away, fuck that. So yeah, we keep thinking there's multiple intros. There's the intro where the guy is looking at the tablet and the dinosaur, he goes, yes, I'm on the ladder, I'm getting away. And then like the big one in the water just snaps again. It pulls a Jurassic World and goes and just chomps him off. And then the guys in the helicopter look at it like, well, that sucks. Smash cut. Now that's where we get the titles. Then you see Jeff Goldblum chat for 30 seconds at Congress going, I'd get rid of the dinosaurs. And then it cuts to the scene that we were just talking about with the Asian Mexican and Bernard's son and the main actress Bryce playing Claire in the movie. She gets a call and someone goes like this. Yeah, I know, miss. I know. Claire, someone really important's on the phone.
Claire, can you move the plot along?
And then, no joke, yeah, Claire, can you move the plot along? And then she picks up the phone and she goes like, who's even on it? And she just goes like, the president. You know, like she says something like,
yeah, it's like
woman, whatever.
So and so, yeah.
She goes, and I'm not even kidding. Like you can like see that she's not on the phone, and you can just be like, she's going, what? You know, really? Today, 3 p.m. I'll be there.
Which that's the best part is it's like Claire, talk to this congresswoman, and the congresswoman's like, because in that when she talks to the congresswoman, it's like, Claire, the congresswoman's on the line, and then she goes, what? Oh, hi, congresswoman. No one cares. You said you'll support us in saving the dinosaurs. Literally, she hangs up the phone, and then the news comes on, and the committee that was talking to Jeff Goldblum goes, we have decided, fuck the dinosaurs. And it's like, who are you talking to on the phone? If this congresswoman had any sway, she would have been, you know, in the room talking to Jeff Goldblum. It would have
been clever if they at least showed a woman on the background going, all right. And then right as that woman hangs up, you see Claire going, I just got off the phone.
Exactly, but that's smart.
No, that would be movie magic. You can't have that.
Nope.
By the way, the news graphics look like you gave me 25 minutes in Adobe After Effects. It's literally like the lower third doesn't even move. And it literally says like, Mr. Important, talking about dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Everybody is nameless. They just are like, I'm a guy and I have power. And everyone's like, not the guy with power. And then
it's the white congressman who's going to be a dick. But so
it's Matt Romney.
It's Matt Romney.
It's Matt Romney talking about the dinosaurs.
But so then she gets a call after that, and then it's like, she's like, who is this? And then it cuts to her going to the fake CGI mansion.
Oh, God.
And so then she gets to the CGI mansion, and she meets the assistant, Eli, who's going to be our quote-unquote one of our antagonists for the story. However, he is so and he's not like intimidating or interesting in any way.
Nope.
Like he's kind of a whiny nerd and doesn't do anything in the movie. Like he doesn't do anything in the movie.
Also, here's another thing. This woman, so I assume she has a pretty wide array of knowledge about dinosaurs. I don't know what she did in the first movie. I don't care.
Which one? The young girl?
Claire.
Oh, Claire, she ran Jurassic World. She was like the general manager of Jurassic World.
So she has a lot of knowledge about dinosaurs.
Yeah.
He goes like this. They walk into it and you see skeletons of dinosaurs everywhere. Clearly going off Jurassic Park 1 kind of vibes. It looks like a museum. It looks like they walk into the section of the Smithsonian that they rented out for the movie. So
yes.
Anyways, they walk into that, and he goes, "Let me give you a little bit of backstory." And by a little bit, he talks to her like she's retarded. He talks to her like, "Here's what a dinosaur is." I don't know if you know that, but I know that you ran Jurassic Park. But do you know what a dinosaur is?
Well, that's the best part.
Important dinosaurs are to this country.
Well, that's also the best part too. Is it's like, let me tell you the history. Here in this fake CGI mansion, John Hammond and my boss, Benjamin Lockwood,
Benjamin Button,
my boss, Benjamin Button, they both worked together right here and created the first dinosaurs. And you're sitting there going, we've never heard of this guy in any movie.
No.
And this is like a mansion in like, somewhere in the United States. So it's like, you're going to tell, like, where are they making this in the Smithsonian Museum?
I laughed out loud because John Hammond. It shows Claire walk up to a painting of him.
My eyes were rolling in the back of my head so hard.
He goes like this, like, I was waiting for her to go, "I miss you, Dad." Just honestly, that would have been.
Yeah, no, it would have been on. Like you kind of expect that level of, because we'll get to this later. Like the one time the movie tries to throw like a plot twist, a red herring at you. Yeah. Like I was like, "Fuck you, movie." I know you've already.
Yeah, let's not even say that. We've got to save that for when it's appropriate.
Yeah,
I do not want to spoil that.
So Benjamin Lockwood. No, hold on. So Benjamin Lockwood rolls into the Smithsonian.
No, this is why. Wait, I'm talking about his entrance before he just wheels in. She's looking up at John Lockwood, and it pretty much does a pan from that to Benjamin Lockwood, and I thought they were trying to act like John was still around.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to be like, I remember when I was young. Like, look at that old man painting. It'd be like, that was me when I was 60. Now I'm 90 and I look crazy different. Like, I thought they were going to pull some shit like that.
I wouldn't have put it past him, but the one thing that I loved was, and this was the other part where I laughed in the theater, was when you saw him rolling up, and I noticed he's in a wheelchair, but he also has the John Hammond walking stick with the mosquito. And I was like, did you guys hand those out in a Christmas party? Does the maid have one too?
Honestly, because here's what they're hoping you'll do. For people who didn't see Jurassic Park or haven't seen it for a while, they're hoping that you won't hear his name and you'll just assume he's John Hammond.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's dressed the same. He's got the beard. He's got the cane.
Yeah, he's got a comb over with it doesn't have enough hair for it, so they just comb the front to try to look like the picture, like the painting that's like on the wall. So it's literally like it pans from like a painting right here of me doing this, like, to me in a wheelchair going, "Oh, hello." Like,
no, the more accurate is it pans like to a picture of you. It goes from a picture of you to like a picture to me in a wheelchair with a wig.
Yeah.
Like I am David Grayson. I am
Lockwood. Hello. So, us
Yeah.
Lockwood brothers, we were always very close.
But yeah.
I share the exact views that my brother does, and also I have the same kind of heart.
But so he comes in and he's like, Claire, we want you to save the dinosaurs and take them to another island.
Where they can also ruin that place.
Yep. So Claire's like, okay, let's do it. And I'm jumping ahead because I want to get to, because they say, we need you, Claire, to help us get the Raptor Blue. Because it's so fucking important for some reason. And we're going to go into the Raptor thing in a minute because this movie tries to rewrite history.
Yeah, do not skip the Chris Pratt intro because it has one of my favorite things in movies.
Yeah, you like how, like, it's like, so she's like, so it literally is like, we need you, we were hoping you knew someone that could help us track down Blue. And it's like that movie moment, and like, it's like Ocean's 11 kind of shit where it's like, I think I know someone. Cut to in the vast wilderness of like Montana or some shit.
Yeah.
We see a man in the golden sunlight building a house by hand.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's
and it's like, oh look everyone, like it would have fit, like the only thing that would have pushed that over the limit is if Chris Pratt was shirtless.
No, I thought it was going to happen, but here's the thing. I want to play this. Here's what I thought of when they cut to this. Just because, like, the Avengers and everything being released recently, I thought they were going to do this. It was going to cut to her, like, driving, right? And then show him driving up to the same location, and this be playing. I'm Chris Pratt. This is how I enter the movie.
That's pretty much how it was. It's just he's sitting there building a house, and it's like, fuck you, movie. He's building a house.
I've told Alec this literally. I mean, Alec and I have been friends for a long time now. Like, it's going on like 6 years. And I think since year 5, I've said that one of my favorite things that they used to do in old-timey movies, behind the scene wise, is like, let's say Fred Astaire was in a movie. And he's just like tap dancing away or whatever. To make him seem more masculine, they would shoot old footage behind the scenes, like with a this cheaper film camera, and they would always be doing the Anchorman kind of pose, where, no joke, Frank Sinatra's like in this one movie, or Fred Astaire, and he's just like he's like axing a tree. Like, there's, for some reason behind Studio 8, there's just like a tree stump that needs to be sawed. And so he's like, rawr, 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 and then he does a little look like, oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Oh, what was I doing? I was just sawing some wood. You know, manly guys do manly things. You know what I mean? And they said shit like that. It's one of my favorite things that is so phony. It's so fake. I mean, can you imagine actually in real life, someone ignores you, your loud car, and they're out in the wilderness. He doesn't have headphones or anything in. He's just doing this. He's just going, just chopping away at this cabin. Hey, remember in that first movie how she said she didn't want to live with me because I lived in a van down by the river? Now I'm taking it into my own action that I'm building a house, but I'm just going to do it kind of lackadaisically. Like, I don't need anybody's help. I got a bunch of nails.
I got I don't need anyone's help. I got nails. I can build a house with this.
He literally only has one tool on his belt. And it is a holster for a mallet. That's it.
That's all he needs. He's trained raptors, David. What the fuck does he need a drill for?
It's like, he goes like, Chris Pratt, what are you doing? He's over there like sawing wood. It's like, oh, what? Something about dinosaurs. I don't need any dinosaurs.
Oh, I got one better.
Yeah, you probably have a hammer.
It's like Chris Pratt, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. I'm just sawing some wood, and now I'm hammering a nail.
Yeah, just like, what am I doing? Oh, I'm working on these blueprints. Everyone's like, why do you have the knife? Shut up.
It's also a hammer.
Yeah, this knife also works as a fucking hammer.
He's just punching it in with his fist.
Yeah, listen, nothing gets my goat like a fucking raptor discussion.
You know what? That motion and talking about raptors, that kind of encompasses it all. Just raptors, yeah!
Yeah, by the way,
let's talk about Blue some more.
Let's talk about Blue, baby.
So essentially, she's like, Chris Pratt, I need you to help me go save the dinosaurs. And he's like, nah.
Save dinosaurs.
Like, yeah, he's like, I got out of that gig.
No,
he's chopping wood.
Looks at her and he goes like, saving dinosaurs, man, you're pretty 2000 and late. And she goes, wait, what? Wasn't that what your whole life was about? And he goes, nah, fuck that. I like to build this cabin though.
Yeah, it's like, I know I used to train raptors, but I got really into carpentry and I just can't give that up.
Yeah, what kind of woman makes an itinerary for a first date?
No, it's like, I got into carpentry and I just don't want to give that up. Like my good friend, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
But so anyways.
Pray, it's good for you. I believe that. I do.
So cut to Chris Pratt. He then just decides off screen that he's going to go help them save the dinosaurs. So he's an
invitation. She goes like this. Listen, even though my words didn't do it, your name's on the list. So if you show up tomorrow, good on you.
Your name's on the list, so you have to go. It's like, Jesus, she is his girlfriend.
$200 for that plane ticket. Non-refundable this late.
So Chris Pratt.
Blues there.
So now we have our team, and our team is Claire, the
Chris Pratt,
comedic relief black guy.
Oh my God!
Then
seriously, let me settle this here. For the rest of you, I fucking hate this character. I think this character, no joke, was designed, and this is totally racist, stereotypical, whatever you want to say. He is designed for an all-black theater to laugh at.
Yeah, he's Kevin Hart. Yeah, he's the Kevin Hart of the movie.
Where it's the guy who's a dork, who screams like a girl, but does something heroic, and that's his character arc. But he's the reluctant anti-nerd.
Yeah, he's the Kevin Hart, and of this movie. So it's just him screaming all the time.
Yeah, it might as well have been Kevin Hart just going like, listen, bow, I'm going. What? Find a raptor. I don't like raptors. Raptors come at me. I'm small. They're going to throw me up in the air. I'm not going to be able to land. I'm going to land. I'm going to break my ankle, and that's going to really hurt. And then I'm going to have to save your all ass. I don't want to do that. Bow. Go ahead. This, yeah. And it hurts your fucking skull because listen, some movies are really, really good at having the perfect amount of time where if there's a huge audience laughing, they don't have anything happening so that the audience doesn't miss anything from a big laugh, Like movies like The 40-Year-Old Virgin. This guy, they would give him 15 seconds after a joke of just dead air because they think you are going to be slapping your knee so hard, you're not going to be able to pay attention to anything else. So literally, he just goes like, I'm scared of dinosaurs. Can we stay in the tank? And then it sits for 15 seconds. Every character just goes,
yeah.
And they just sit. I mean, they literally stop acting and wait for the guy's punchline to land.
Yeah. Well, the best one is there's two right at the first of his character. So they get on the plane and the guy is sitting across from Chris Pratt, and he's like, "Hey, Chris Pratt, have you ever done anything like this?" And Chris Pratt goes, "I did something in the last movie that was really cool." And he goes, "Oh, we're not compatible." And then it's like, that's the joke, and it's just, oh no, we're gonna hold for 10 seconds.
Well, also, the thing that Chris Pratt references is the thing that everybody said looked so shitty in the last movie.
Yeah.
I know that because it was in the trailer, and I told Alec, I'm not seeing this. Did you just see that?
Yeah, I know it because I drew a picture of it back when we were doing YouTube, remember?
Yeah. God damn it. It was...
back in the day. I don't even think I still have that picture.
Where he's driving in the jungle on his motorcycle with a bunch of raptors behind him. And it looks like they did a plug-in Chris Pratt onto a hover bike because the bike isn't even bouncing on the ground. It's just flat, like the jungle is a smooth wooden surface. Like they put him on a treadmill, you know what I mean? And they go, we'll just put some dinosaurs bouncing around later. And it's the cheapest looking shot of the movie. It looks like, 3/4 of the way rendered. It's like has a different color temperature than the rest of the movie. It's bizarre. So, anyways, like you said, they get there, and then they meet the guy, the classic movie guy who's literally dressed. I don't know if Alec thought this too, but he's dressed like the Disney villain from Tarzan. Or he's got half and all safari crap, like tan safari crap on in a gun.
Yeah, well, he's the character in the Lost World. That character is in there. If you remember, he's like the Great White Hunter guy, and like, but in the Lost World it works because he's like, he's not there for the same reasons as everyone else. He's in it because he wants to hunt a T-Rex, and like that's like the ultimate challenge for him.
I guess that's the part of the movie that I just missed out on because I didn't see the first one. So there.
No. In the Lost World, like the second Jurassic Park movie with Jeff Goldblum.
The same dude, the same actor?
No, not the same actor, but the same character, where it's like a white hunter guy.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So in the Lost World, that character in the Lost World works because he's not there for the reasons the villains are. He's kind of like, they promised him he could hunt a T-Rex, and that's all he wants to do. And he's not entirely a bad guy.
I swear, these characters are so two-dimensional.
Yeah.
It's really painful to watch. Like they don't have good dialogue. It's really corny. It's bordering kind of on camp. You know what I mean? Like they're aware of it almost, but they're not self-aware enough to realize how stupid this sounds. Like the whole premise sounds retarded. Like
well, the worst part is, so the actor is Ted Levine, who plays the villain, the hunter villain in this movie. And the worst part is he's a good actor, but it's like he literally has no lines of dialogue except for cartoon villainy.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't very much trust them dinosaurs.
Hey, dinosaurs, we don't like you in our town.
Listen, there ain't enough room on this dinosaur island for humans and dinosaurs.
Get out of the pool, dinosaurs.
Yeah, my daughter's not married to the dinosaur. Listen here, Sonny, you stay with your own. See? You stay with your own.
Yep. So, let's continue on with the story. So,
yeah. We're almost through the first 10 minutes, you guys.
I know. So, the reason they brought Claire along was because she had the access codes to hook them up to the tracking system so they could find the dinosaurs faster. So the whole thing is, so they all get in the cars and they drive out to the concrete facility that does something. And then this is the only time that the Kevin Hart black character does anything of value in the movie. Like, I swear to God, this is it. He
gets a chair.
He doesn't even do that. He goes in, he opens the door to get in the concrete bunker, and then turns on the computer for Claire to give them the access code to track the dinosaurs. That's all he does.
Yeah, he's very worthless. And it's weird because they make him really nervous the whole movie, but this is the one time in the movie when he's useful, and also the one time in the movie where he's really confident and cocky. Like, he tells some guys, like, suck on them apples or something, like, as he's opening up the door, and then he proceeds to scream like a bitch like the rest of the movie. It doesn't make any sense.
So essentially they turn on the trackers, and then they all go out to hunt Blue. And they instantly find this raptor, which begs the question, why did you need Chris Pratt if you found the raptor in like 20 minutes of the, like, in movie time, it's like 20 minutes. Like, the sun hasn't even changed. So it's like in less than an hour, they found this fucking raptor. So it's like, you didn't even need Chris Pratt. You could have just found the fucking raptor. But okay, so I want to get into the raptor, Chris Pratt and the fucking raptor making out with each other scene. So Chris Pratt comes and he's like, oh, raptor, it's me, Chris Pratt. It's me, Chris Pratt. Let me put my hand out. And that stops a giant dinosaur from eating my face. And
he goes like this, he has a clicker, and he goes, you know me. You know me, raptor.
Yeah, who's been living in the wild for like a year or two.
That I abandoned.
Yeah. So here's my big problem. Is so the guys all come and they shoot the raptor with a trank, and this makes the raptor mad. And the raptor leaps on one of the mercenary thug guys of various ethnicities and starts attacking him. And so then the guy shoots the raptor. So I want to pause right here for just a sec.
Yeah.
Because this movie right now has just undermined its own fucking reasons for the villains to do what they do, and the villain of the last fucking movie. So in Jurassic World, the villain of the movie is Vincent D'Onofrio. And Vincent D'Onofrio's plan, and why he's interested in Chris Pratt learning to train raptors, is Chris Pratt, imagine one day we could train raptors and use them for the US military. And then in this movie, they're like, hey, let's breed a super smart raptor so that he can be used for a weapon. And here's my problem.
What if a raptor came down, ripped the roof off the White House, and ate the president?
But see, here's the problem, is it's like, look, guys, we can have raptors for the military. And I know the movie brings this up later in the stupidest fashion, but it's like a random guy, like just a dude, shot the raptor. Like, why are you all so insistent on weaponizing an animal that can be shot by a basic pistol? It's like a police pistol.
Listen, Alec, I don't think you understand their idea here. And let me learn you something, okay? It's either, do you really want to live in a world where you can't weaponize raptors? And also, you know, their idea to weaponize dogs failed miserably last year, and nobody knows why. Nobody knows why weaponized animals could possibly go awry when only one of them is intelligent.
Well, it's like, it's the equivalent would be if someone came to you and said, Like, let's say, David, you were working at fucking SeaWorld, and someone came up to you one day and said, "Hey, David, looks like those dolphins are really smart.
Yeah.
What if one day we put equipment and guns on them? Do you think you could train them to sink boats? Leap on the deck and sink boats?"
Training dolphins. What are you talking about?
But it's like, it's this whole thing. It's like, oh, so you guys, like, how is raising an animal and training it, for years when it can just be shot by some guy? Like, are you gonna put medieval armor on these damn things?
Well, also, it could be stopped theoretically if they watched Chris Pratt closely enough. It could be stopped with kind words and a clicker.
So
all these terrorists would just have to go like, listen, girl, you know me, I'm doing like a weird Arabic / Mexican kind of.
No. See, it's funny. You're actually not wrong, because that's the like example Vincent D'Onofrio uses in Jurassic World. He goes, "Imagine if these raptors were hunting down terrorists." He fucking says that. So it's like, yeah, what if like some terrorist had a clicker and now your raptors are fucked? They don't know what to do.
Honestly, it makes me want to see the first one, just if that's true, just for the line. What if these raptors
came down and ripped the roof off Al-Qaeda's house?
Ripped the roof off Osama bin Laden's fucking house. And don't you act like this is crazy. In Obama's America, anything is possible.
Drone warfare, dino warfare. Checkmate, atheists.
Yeah. Digimon, digital monsters.
Dinosaurs are the champions.
Dinosaurs are the champions. Raptors.
Yep. So, Chris Pratt is like, "Why did you shoot my dinosaur I have an unusual erection for?" And then the guy tranks Chris Pratt. Why they didn't just shoot Chris Pratt is anyone's guess. Plot.
I mean, listen now. Listen. I don't think you understand how movies work. If he had shot Chris Pratt, the movie cuts to black, and that's the end. And every villain gets their way. However, if they trank Chris Pratt, we get that awesome trank scene of him going, "Dude," and then
crawling away from lava.
Yeah, and then him by pure will, Alec, in 10 seconds, even though for presumably his whole body is paralyzed, he's able to limp throw his arm over a log and save his own life from the lava that is creeping slowly towards him. Yeah. No debris is falling. There was debris, but not around him.
Yep. So, as soon as Chris Pratt is tranked, they take the not Asian girl, and they say, you were brought here because you're a paleozoologist who's never seen a dinosaur in real person, which is a big fucking what?
Yeah.
Because they say that in the movies, that she's never seen a dinosaur before, but she's studied how to treat them.
And so, she's for them.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, I could understand being an activist. I mean, talk about useless degrees. You spend all this time learning how to... it's like, I mean, imagine it's like you spent all your time learning how to be a doctor, and then they, like, invent a pill on it that cures everything. You're kind of fucked.
Like being a doctor, but never having treated patients. That's what it was. Because she was like, listen, if someone's like, "I'm a radiologist," you're going, "Have you ever done an x-ray?" And they go, "What's that?" That would be a problem. You know what I mean? It's like, I know what cancer is, but I don't know what it looks like. I'm not a miracle worker.
I mean, or a better example, it's like you walking onto the set of Jurassic World 3, and they're like, "All right, David, can you read these lines?" You go, "What's this?" And they go, "Oh, that's the script." You go, "What's the script?"
I've never worked with one of those. On the movie The Saber Project, I was a star, and I didn't memorize lines at all.
And I was top notch.
That's
why you brought me on this project after every actor said no.
Yeah, listen. I was the only person in Hollywood left who would work with Jeff Goldblum.
I was at the bottom of that barrel. God damn it.
Oh my god. So, all right. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention one of the big things is that they're trying to get these things off the island. We'll get to the reason why, but the big ticking clock that they have is that the island is about to explode. It's about to erupt. It has like the most volatile volcano ever. And we'll get into how that is skipped over, even though this volcano looks bigger than Mount St. Helens and it blows up what would probably cover an eighth of the world in ash just because it's like the biggest volcano ever.
Well, also, they built a resort on this island. Why would you have anywhere near an active volcano on an island you built a giant resort on?
It only was active once everybody left. Okay?
I know. And no one ever knew that that was possible.
Hey,
except they totally built into the mountain.
Listen, you're making yourself sound like a fool here. Okay? People live and visit Hawaii all the time, and those idiots are just sleeping on volcanoes right now. They can go a Malawaka all they want, but they are sleeping on their own grave right now.
And we've been demonetized.
Yeah. Honestly, I want the timestamp from when I did that, just so that is brought into the email. It's like, listen, you've been reported by user kitty kitty lick lick.
You've been reported by the Hawaiian people for hate.
The HAACP.
So
I don't know what that means.
So the military guys trank Chris Pratt and then take the dinosaur, and then they immediately are like, the betray, like on the radio, they're like, haha, we betrayed Chris Pratt and Claire. Let's get out of here, boys. And so they drive off. So then Claire and the black kid are in a bunker that's now cracking, and lava's getting ready to start pouring in. And then they open a door, but oh no, there was a dinosaur on the other side of that door.
This is so fucking stupid.
Why a dinosaur is crawling down a tight, dark hole is anyone's fucking guess.
Yeah, and also it implies that he came from above where there was lava already falling down into a pit where lava is leaking.
Yeah, it's like, why would this dinosaur run in the hole? Also, I have problems with this dinosaur. One, I know what dinosaur it is because of a Jurassic Park fighting game.
Wow.
That came out in like 2001. So it's like a baryonyx. And so essentially, I know it's nerdy as fuck. It's just one of those things I was like, I remember you from a fighting game I played when I was a child.
Your name's Luigi, right?
So this thing crawls out of a hole and it's trying to eat Claire and the black guy instead of, trying to get the fuck out from the lava.
Yeah.
So
it also burns its head but keeps fighting somehow.
Exactly.
Even though molten lava falls on the top of its dinosaur head.
Stupid dinosaur head.
Stupid dinosaur head.
Well, I mean, though, that's a staple of Jurassic Park where it's like the carnivores will stop whatever they're doing to chase one fucking person.
Yeah,
that's just like a staple. So that one doesn't bug me because they've been doing that since the first one. Where it's like, oh, I need to stop what I'm doing to chase a single guy.
Right. There's so many better reasons to hate what's about to happen. So please continue.
Yeah. So Claire and the black kid, they're like, oh no, we gotta climb out through this hole in this like manhole in the ceiling that no one noticed until now.
Yeah.
So they climb through it, and he's like, so they get on a chair and they climb up this ladder, and it hasn't reached all the way to the ground because it was stuck. And then as soon as the dinosaur's on the other side of the lava, close to getting them, oh no, the ladder falls down with the black kid on it, so he's got to scramble up faster while the dinosaur's nipping at his heels.
That was something so dumb. That was like out of Final Destination or a really bad comedy. Like it was very, very stupid.
So they survive and they lock the dinosaur in the bunker. Now, here's one thing that's actually like a mistake is that dinosaur, we see it being helicoptered onto the boat. Like it's there. So it was literally, and I truly believe this was man, we got to have a dinosaur being helicoptered on the boat. And I just used that dinosaur that you guys made in the computer for that last scene. No one will notice. Because it's like, why create another dinosaur? Because that's expensive. Why create another computer-generated dinosaur when you can just reuse the one that would have died from lava?
Oh, God.
So then we go to everybody's running from the stampede of dinosaurs and the volcano smoke that you saw in the trailer for this fucking thing. And it's, all the stuff that you saw in the trailer is everything that happens in the scene. Where it's like dinosaurs are running and they're hiding and then they get in the plastic bubble and then one carnivore comes up and then it gets punched by the T-Rex and then the T-Rex roars and runs off and then everybody runs into the water.
Yeah, that's... Oh, my God. There's so much wrong with that, too, where they fall in an orb into the water and then Chris Pratt somehow survives. People die when they fall off, when they jump off the Golden Gate Bridge, and Chris Pratt is jumping off 3 times taller than that.
Yeah, he's like a
shark and dinosaur-infested waters.
Well, also too, he's like a cliff diver, and then he has like the breath of like an Olympian, like to stay underwater while they try and get this little pod open.
Yeah, it's not like he started in a pool. He started by jumping through fire on his back and smoke that's chasing him, that is undoubtedly burning the back of his clothes. And these dinosaurs are jumping like over him, onto him, landing in the same thing. And that's the shot you see in the trailer of the orb hitting and then all the dinosaurs falling in. And then they don't even show you how, because if they did, you would question it too much. Chris Pratt just like starts banging on the door, but he doesn't bang on the door like, let me in. They start going like, water's coming into the orb. And then Chris Pratt literally does this. He holds up a gun. And then in this thing, they just go, move. And so he shoots twice through this thing and water starts like pouring in, and I don't know what happened, but Chris Pratt
a rock hit his hand and he dropped the gun.
Oh, that's what it was. I thought the gun like ricocheted or something.
Yeah. No, a rock hit his hand and he dropped the gun, so he goes up, gets a breath, and then comes back down and uses a knife, and they pry open the little bubble. And so then they all they land on the beach, and it's another scene from the trailer where Claire's like, it was all a lie.
I hate that. It was all a lie.
Well, it's also because it's like, yeah, they were all like cartoonishly evil, I mean, what you expect. So then we cut to the boat, and they're loading up all the dinosaurs, and here we get to see our hunter guy. This is where they hammer home, hey, everybody, that hunter guy, Toby Jones, he's a villain. You ready? You ready to see? Or not Toby Jones, it's Ted Levine. I'm sorry. Where it's like, hey, everybody, Ted Levine, he's evil. Watch this. And he goes over to a stegosaurus, like the most cute, helpless stegosaurus that's ever lived. And then he takes out a pair of rusty pliers and pulls out its tooth for a necklace. And this was my problem. It's like, the movie's doing this so that we know for a fact he's evil. But I'm like, why would you want a fucking tooth of a stegosaurus for your necklace? That's like the shittiest tooth. Like that's like taking the tooth of like a cow. Like, why would you want that? Why wouldn't you just take a bunch of T-Rex teeth? That's the cool necklace.
So, I don't know if this guy forgot, but he's stealing the entire dinosaur, alive and well. Why take a tooth if you have the whole thing? That's like going, you know what, instead of having a dog, I just want to have a dog's paw. It's like, no, but we're giving you the dog. You have the dog. I just want its paw, though, to put around my neck.
Yeah, it's really stupid. It's purely so that A, we can know he's evil, and then B, we can get his comeuppance at the end of the movie.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. So
yeah, go ahead.
Let's move on. So I'm gonna jump fast because the boat stuff is kind of stupid, and we're about to get to the fun things.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get into that.
So Chris Pratt, Claire, and Black Guy all get on the boat, you know, and then they have a sad scene, a weirdly sad scene, which is something else. The movie has weird tonal moments. So it's like a sad scene of a giant sauropod, like one of the long-necked ones, like dying because of the, like, it's on the dock as the boat is like leaving. It's on the dock because it has nowhere to go, and then it gets enveloped by like the smoke and lava as it like dies.
See, that actually did make me sad. Like,
yeah,
and that's just because if you're empathetic at all, and if you love animals at all, regardless if they're fictitious or not.
Yeah,
it's like the movie Marley and Me. They didn't really kill a dog for the sake of the movie. But it's still like, if it dies, you go, oh my, come on. And it was
they did
the way they did it, where it's like crying for, like, come back. Like, I swear, they literally probably had a real actress go, come back. And then they just threw gorilla distortion on it. So it was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it didn't go, Claire.
So, yeah, so it's like weird because it's like, this is like the scene, like a sad scene, and then the rest of the movie is not in any way like this. And I'm like, God, this is like something you would see in the original Jurassic Park, where it's like, oh, this is a scene that has some meaning to it.
Yeah. So, because here's the thing. This is something, I will say this. From the moment this movie started off and through the entire thing, I am in complete agreement with the people who say, let the dinosaurs die.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid. I think the whole premise is retarded. I think they should let them die. Jeff Goldblum, although stupid and Jeff Goldblum-y, is completely right. And this girl's completely wrong. And they make me hate the lead because who loves activism? Like, most activists in general are like the worst part of any movement. Like, not the people who are actually making laws and change, but these people who are just like, save the dinosaur, like, because it is Fifi's.
Well, it's also because it's like, save the dinosaur, even though they, like, a year or two ago, like, ate a ton of people.
Yeah, attacked.
That's the thing with Jurassic World. It's like the dinosaurs break out while there's people there. So, like, a bunch of people die, including, this is something that in this movie, in a quick tangent, that they change, is in the original, or sorry, not the original, in Jurassic World, one of the criticisms that they got was, at one point, so in the movie, the two kids are being watched by Claire's assistant. It was just some woman doing her job, and she doesn't really want to watch kids and all that shit. And so the kids run off from her. And so the whole movie, she's trying to find them, and she's like panicking because two children have run off on their own. Yeah. And so then when she sees them and stuff and catches up to them and all this madness while these pterodactyls and shit are like flying over and attacking people. Mm-hmm. So like a pterodactyl like picks her up and she gets tossed around in the air by a bunch of them until eventually the giant water dinosaur comes and like eats the pterodactyl and her. Mm-hmm. And people's criticism was like, this is a weird glory shot of the death of some innocent woman whose only sin was not being enthusiastic to watch someone else's nephews. Like, it literally is this big glory shot of a dinosaur eating this innocent woman whole, and the only bad thing she ever did was not like someone else's, like, nephews. And, I mean, it's like, yeah, so in this movie, that's why in this movie, the only people who get attacked are evil people.
Yeah.
Like, and they are very specific about that.
And that's what I found really dumb. I mean, granted, good people were chased by dinosaurs, but there's no ever ramifications for it.
Yeah.
Like if Chris Pratt lost a hand or a foot at the end of this movie, you'd be like, wow, well, at least he made it out alive. He barely made it out alive. But
Yeah.
nothing even close to that. And they're never.
It's one of those things where it's like, you know, even in Jurassic Park, the lawyer dies, but like that's kind of the thing, though, is that the lawyer, you know, he's this giant jerk the whole movie. It's like that's the point, is he's just this huge dick the whole movie. And even then, when he dies, it's not like a oh yeah, fuck that guy moment. It's more of you're just terrified about this. You're with him. You understand why he's, you know, in the bathroom shitting himself.
Yeah, and sorry, to get back semi on track, what Alec was saying is they go on the boat. They're showing them kind of stealth around this boat. Blue has been shot. They go, I need to give it a transfusion, seal up that bullet wound. It's dying. And they're like, the only way we can get the blood is if we get it from like another carnivore.
Get it from the T-Rex.
Get it from the T-Rex, of course. There's no other carnivores on the whole ship that are close enough by. And, you know, little action scene or whatever with them getting the blood. That's kind of stupid.
Well, also you got to remember the black comic relief kid. He gets some guys like, oh no, this is later after the blood. I'm sorry, I skipped ahead of you.
No, we're getting there. It's
yeah.
They basically then they have this kind of intense moment where they are cutting between the stuff on the ship to this little girl who we basically have left out up to this point because she's not involved until the second half of the movie.
She's not even important.
No,
like she's
not. But she's Lockwood's
granddaughter,
and not even John Lockwood's granddaughter.
Well, it's John Hammond. I gotta correct you. It's
John Hammond.
Yeah, it's like she's Benjamin Lockwood's granddaughter and stuff, and it's like, so essentially she's running around and then she sees the assistant Eli talking to the evil black market merchant.
Yeah.
And so she overhears them saying, we gotta sell the dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's a weird scene where it's like you think it's gonna be way more combative, but the guy's just kind of shitty, and then you actually grow to be like, he's not even the shitty one. It's like the schmarmy semi-villain of the movie. The nerd with glasses is like the one you are supposed to hate.
Yeah. But you don't hate either one of them because they're nothing. They're non-entities.
Yeah, they really are not important. They're just exactly what you would expect if this was hypothetically true. Like, oh, somebody's trying to make a profit off these dinosaurs? You gotta be shitting me. Anyways, this little girl, she follows them down to this basement. They talk about all of their plans. She hears all the plans. She ends up watching on this thing, on a clip that I presume was in the first movie of Chris Pratt training. Okay, well then videos of Chris Pratt training Blue, showing that Blue has empathy, it's intelligent, and Blue is the leader of the Raptors. And with Blue, you can pretty much do everything. So it's basically just used as exposition to explain to this girl that Blue is important. And then simultaneously, you're cutting between young Blue in a video to Chris Pratt trying to help save Blue's life through a blood transfusion. They end up doing that. Black guy, what Alec was about to say earlier, gets absconded away by some random ship guy. And everybody, for some reason, is okay with him not knowing the protocol. They just kind of go like, what are you, fucking stupid? Take this rope and go over there.
Yeah, and the best part is he disappears until the end of the movie.
And yeah, until he does it again. Until it happens fucking again. Like the exact same interaction, just with a different character. But that's way down the road. Anyways, they arrive, and somehow they decide, once the boat is kind of docked, they're like, crap, we gotta hide. So they go, best way to hide is in plain sight. We're gonna hide in this truck that's on the ship there's a whole line of them with dinosaurs in the back. So they're like, we're gonna drive this truck. And so they see that they're driving the trucks are going to the CGI mansion. they see a sign that says like Norwalk or something, 5 miles this direction. And they go, tell you what, we're going to turn the truck and we're going to beeline it to that town. If we call the cops from that town, we can put a whole stop to this. The whole movie can end. And of course, right as they say that, every gun just enters the frame from every direction. And they're like, oh, what the fuck? And it's, they're like, oh, shit. And then cut to Chris Pratt, Claire, they put them in house jail. They put them in the house.
Well, they put them in an animal cage. It's like the thing.
Sorry, it looked like
yeah.
You're right.
Well, okay, so I want to get into a couple things here for the audience. So the first thing is the villain is taking the dinosaurs to the mansion and then putting them in the underground complex that John Hammond and Benjamin Lockwood originally used to make dinosaurs. Now, the problem with this is it's a brick and mortar fucking, like, building. Like, yeah. Why would this hold any of these fucking dinosaurs? Like, the Pachycephalosaurus, the one with the big, like, bone head, busts down a brick wall. So why would it hold any of these things?
That's a small one, too. That's a tiny one.
Yeah. So here's the other thing. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I have to, and this is going to be spoilers for Jurassic World. But so this is where the movie tries to change history with Blue. So those videos of Blue being like, oh, Blue is the best raptor ever, that is all manufactured for this movie. So the whole point is, we did skip something. So Dr. Wu, the Asian guy who's been in all these fucking movies, he's in it. And now he's like the villain of the new movies now, but he's like entirely reluctant to be a part of the story. It's really weird because he's dressed in all black in every scene, but he like hates everyone, you know?
He goes, listen, you brought me the lead geneticist in so that I could, do this, and I don't approve, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's like all he had to do was say no, and then none of this would be a problem.
Yeah. But so Wood's like, oh, our new raptor, it doesn't listen to humans, so we need Blue's DNA so that the next version of this raptor will listen to humans. So the problem with that is, one, DNA, like Chris Pratt trained them like dogs, so DNA wouldn't matter at all.
Yeah.
Here's the second problem. In the first movie, in Jurassic World, it is blatantly obvious that Chris Pratt cannot control the raptors. It's the whole fucking point. Like, it is literally the point. Because Vincent D'Onofrio is hanging around Chris Pratt saying, like, hey, we should use these raptors for something. And Chris Pratt is like, no, they don't train. They're not dogs. They don't listen to me like a trained animal. Because when we first see Chris Pratt in Jurassic World, like, literally, here's the sequence of events. A kid falls in the raptor pen. Mm-hmm. Chris Pratt jumps in, and he's doing the, like, from the trailers, the whoa, he's got his hands out, and the raptors are, like, all around him, and they're, like, snapping at him, Mm-hmm. And he's backing him and the kid up towards the gate, Yeah. And the whole point is the kid crawls through the gate, and then Chris Pratt does, like, a jumping roll maneuver to get through the gate, because the second he turns his back, they attack. Mm-hmm. Like, literally, all four of them. There's no hesitation. They all four go, boom, and they try and kill him. And that's how we're introduced. That's the point, is that they aren't trained animals. He's, like, insistent on that. And so then later in the movie, when the raptors are running through the jungle with Chris Pratt on the motorcycle, and this is the huge spoiler for the movie, is that when the raptors run into the Indominus Rex, mm-hmm. which is the dinosaur they made for that movie, when they run into it, the raptors turn on all the humans. Like, that's the whole thing. It's like the bigger dinosaur establishes itself as the alpha because it's bigger than all four of them. Mm-hmm. And then they all just turn on the humans and kill them all. And then the whole climax is, the climax of Jurassic World is the raptors and the Blue and the T-Rex team up to fight this new dinosaur. I swear to God, that's how it ends. And the whole point is, at the end of that movie, the miracle is that the raptor doesn't attack them when it's all over. Like, that's the miracle of the third act. It's like, wow, for once the dinosaur wasn't a fucker, you know? Like,
it defied its animal nature.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, that's the whole point. It's like, Chris Pratt is like the one connection he has with the raptor is like, wow, it didn't kill us, even though in terms of the movie, less than an hour ago, all four of them were chasing us.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really stupid because it's like, no, in Jurassic World, you clearly established that the raptors had no interest in being trained. It wasn't possible. There was no Chris Pratt believing in the fact that they could be trained. And that's why he was so fucking cynical about it. Like when Vincent D'Onofrio's like, hey, we'll use the raptors to hunt the Indominus Rex. Chris Pratt is like, this is a stupid fucking idea because I know these animals and I know that they're not trainable and that they'll turn on us at any moment. And that's kind of the thing is it's like, so when this movie, when it's like, oh, we need Blue's DNA, it's like, for what? Blue wasn't trainable. You couldn't train it to do anything.
Man. Well, so continuing on. Yeah, see? I mean, look at what this movie does to people. It tore my family apart. It's once they're back at the house, you quickly realize that they're just gonna like try to sell it to the most cliched underground mafioso types, where it's like, oh, that guy is a Slovenian, that guy's a Russian, and they're here to buy dinosaurs.
Well, yeah, that's the best part. It's like the people showing up to buy the dinosaurs are a Slovenian, a Russian, Chinese, vague African, and then Texas oil guys with curly mustaches.
Yeah, it's really, like I said, very two-dimensional. I mean, this easily could have been like a cartoon, and it would have been probably
it's like the way I thought of it in the movie was, I was like, this is the fucking auction scene from The Master of Disguise.
Wow, that is a great comparison. That's amazing.
Like, it's like every little group is represented in their stereotypical costume, and it's ridiculous. And so the auction is starting. And so here's my other thing too with the auction. Once again, dinosaurs can die from a single bullet. You can just shoot them. You know? It's like a whole thing. They're just animals. But it's like, oh, $25 million for this ankylosaurus. And I'm like, why the fuck would you buy that thing? It's a giant dinosaur that would require constant food. I mean, even like someone who's like, I want to hunt a dinosaur would probably know not to buy the only one. You know?
It's stupid because they don't even explain that. They don't even go, it would be smarter, right? If they go, tell you what, we're selling you these dinosaurs, and with each of these dinosaurs comes a case full of specimens to where you can clone more dinosaurs or where you can make children. But here's the thing, they are only giving them one. So do they not understand how mating works, how babies work, how making more of them works? Dinosaurs don't live for fucking ever.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, it would literally be like, I'm giving you a neutered dog, and now you have the only neutered dog. It's like, No, if you are a person who sells dogs or wants to profit off having a dog, you want to get a dog that can still have babies and keep churning out more fucking dogs.
Yeah.
Like a what do they call it? A stud, like a horse. You know what I mean? When the horse has kids or whatever, it's like, yeah, you want a stud. You don't want a stag. You want a stud. And you want a woman or a guy to go with it.
Yeah. So it's a whole stupid thing, but so essentially, Chris Pratt and Claire break out of the prison. You know, by letting the little hammerhead dinosaur break the wall and all that bullshit. Yeah. And then they see the little girl, and the little girl's sad because the villain of the movie killed not John Hammond by suffocating him with a pillow. This is entirely glossed over, which is one of the biggest complaints, because we're going to get into it with this movie, is that things happen in this movie that are just glossed the fuck over and never dealt with.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree with that, because also I am so fed up with this. Like, does every single movie, did these people watch Game of Thrones and miss the fucking point where they go like this? There's a scene where, was it named Benjamin Button? He goes, like, he has his staff next to his bed for some fucking reason. Not his chair that he needs to get around in, but just the stick.
Yeah.
And the guy's sitting on the end of the bed facing away all dramatically. I'm sorry. And he goes, is this true? Are you really doing that? I want you to grab that phone over there on that.
And tell the police you're selling dinosaurs under my house.
Yeah, I want you to turn yourself in. It'll be easier if it comes from you. That's what honor dictates here in House Lemonwood. You know, like, it's the fucking dumbest thing. You know, like, I'm surprised it felt like a Game of Thrones scene put in modern times, where he's like, honor dictates that he who passes the sentence must swing the sword. So turn yourself in, you fucking night watch deserter. You know, like, and the guy, he goes over there, and like his eureka moment, which everybody saw fucking coming. When anybody who's old goes, turn yourself in, Sonny, I'm like, that old person's dead.
Yeah.
They're gonna die tonight. I'm like, there's no reason for him to be there. I mean, I would have honestly preferred if he came in at the very end and he goes like this, like he used his dying breath to like stab a dude with a dinosaur tooth in the neck or something like that. Like, oh my heart, you know, like, that would have been way better than he dies by getting suffocated and he puts a book on his chest and his granddaughter finds him. And
So he's dead. And so the girl meets Chris Pratt and Claire, and then they go and they're crawling through to escape, and then they see the new dinosaur that's been made, and it's the Endroraptor. It's just a big fucking raptor. Who gives a shit? But it's like because this is the stupid part, is it's like, hey everyone, for this auction, we're gonna show you a prototype raptor that's totally not for sale. And then everyone wants to buy it, so they sell it. And it's really stupid because they have it's like how you control this prototype version. Because keep in mind, now that they have Blue's DNA, they'll teach the raptors to listen to human voice commands afterward. But it's literally like, use a laser pointer and point it at a target, and then hit a sound button that screeches. So it's a laser pointer and a whistle. So it's like, point a laser pointer at the wall and whistle, and then the raptor will attack.
Blow the raptor rape whistle, and it attacks.
And so everyone's like, this raptor's unstoppable. And I'm like, unstoppable? It's a laser pointer and a whistle. What are you going to do when it's done killing that thing you pointed at? It's not going to be like, all right, I'm done killing. Put me back in the box. See you later, everybody. Endroraptor's going back in the box. It's not like a fucking episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood with a raptor. He's like, goodbye, everybody. I'm going back in my raptor home.
Did you miss the scene where Mr. Rogers came out? You must have gone to the bathroom during this, because there's a scene, Alec, where Mr. Rogers comes out and he has that giant hook cane. And he just goes, "That's enough now," and he just pulls the raptor back.
Well, so this is the beautiful part. It's like as the bidding is going on for the raptor, Chris Pratt has a brilliant idea. He puts the hammerhead dinosaur onto the elevator and then lets it loose in the auction room. So now we need to talk about why the auction room is retarded. It doesn't actually make sense. So the way they're auctioning the dinosaurs is they're putting them in cages and then rolling them to the middle of the auction room and then rolling them back. Now, logic would dictate the better way to do this would to be just using HD fucking cameras. And you walk up to the pen and you film it, you know, instead of rolling it out into a crowded room full of people. But so this hammerhead dinosaur starts hitting everyone, and now this is one of those things because I'm a nerd. Like I'm like, okay, if that dinosaur hit a human being, they're dead. They're dead. They're DED dead.
Supposed to be happening. I thought when they were flying around that they were like doing the PG-13 version of You're Dead or You're.
I hope so. I didn't pay attention. I don't think they had any bodies laying on the floor because of PG-13ness. And they're waiting to do all the violent killing until in a moment.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I think this movie was severely hurt by its rating because if this had been R, it could have been really fucked up and really cool and all that shit. And then there were times where it kind of just said fuck it to the rating and it did things that shocked me because I'm like, the guy's got his fucking arm ripped off.
Yep.
I saw it.
Well, we're going to get to that because this is now the beautiful, stupid part. Now, the movie is now about to literally fall to fucking pieces.
How far through the movie would you say that we are at this point?
We have just cleared. We are in the third act. The third act of this movie is dinosaur kills. That is the third act of this film. It is dinosaurs killing people time. So let's talk about how the Indoraptor escapes. You ready?
Yep.
You ready for this fucking bullshit? So the rich people, the dinosaur is hitting people and running into them. So the rich people panic and they all start running into the woods. Now, if I were a rich guy running from a dinosaur, I would run to my car. That's on the other side. That's just around the building. Like, it's not like a long distance. It's a really, really short distance. But I would just run to my car because there's so much. The dinosaur that hits people in the head runs into the woods.
Yeah, it just runs off.
Yeah, so it's not like it's like some mystery. It ran into the woods, and then I'd go run to my car. You know, it's just in the driveway. So, but they all run into the woods. Into the woods they go. So the hunter guy, he sees that the auction is off and it's gone bad. So he walks into the auction room and is like, "Hey, villain guy, I want my bonus."
Oh my god, that line of dialogue literally made me go, "Oh." Like,
didn't it sound like put the lotion in the basket?
Well, yeah.
Like, because he was Buffalo Bill. Like, doesn't it sound like put the lotion in the basket?
Like, he might as well have walked in and just been like this with his glasses and just been like, "Hey, want my money? Want my money in the bag? Put money in the bag." I mean, because here's the thing. Remember, this guy, I don't know where they're coming from, the island, fucking Madagascar. And so he's been saying since, like, Africa, he's been going like, "Hey,
where's my bonus?
Where's my money?" It's like,
where's my bonus?
Honestly, I kind of agree with this guy. Why doesn't he have his money? He did his fucking job. The dinosaurs are there. End of story.
Yeah. Well, so here's the deal. So he sees the Indoraptor, and he's like, "Wow, I didn't hear about you. You're really cool. I'm going to take one of your teeth."
He does do that.
Yeah. So he shoots the raptor with 2 tranquilizer darts.
Oh, you're a tough fella. He goes,
and so here's where the thing gets unbelievably stupid. So he opens the pen.
Oh God, yeah. Of course.
And he walks in. Now, you know, logic would dictate if you tranquilized a raptor, you would wait at least a minute or two because it's a fucking sedative.
Or also, why don't you just unload a full clip of those and then just reload it with more tranks?
Yeah.
Why don't you just fire 6 of them?
Yeah, fuck it. Who's gonna stop you? Where's your bonus?
Sure. Like.
Yeah. So he walks in the cage and leaves it unlocked. And so he's like, I'm gonna get a raptor tooth. And so he leans over and he gets his rusty pliers, because they're even in this scene, they make sure you know these pliers are rusty from the blood of dinosaurs.
Yeah, you just go, I got time to get my tooth pliers.
I'm gonna get my tooth now. And so as he's trying to get the tooth off,
oh God,
we can see, so what it is like he is here, like the raptor's head is here, like this is the camera looking this way.
Yeah.
The raptor's head is my hand, and he's like behind it, like over here messing with the tooth.
Yeah.
So he can't see this side of the raptor's head. And the reason that's important is the audience first sees the tail in the background swish, and we know the raptor's not asleep. Now, that was all that was necessary for this scene.
It's just a very out of focus kind of half tail.
Yeah, that's not what the movie stops with. The raptor, the Indoraptor, opens its eye to the camera and smiles. It actually smiles, like the lip curls up. Like,
yeah, it goes like this. I'm not even kidding. So, Alec, you be that guy.
Yeah, so I don't got my tooth. My tooth. It's not coming out. It's not coming out. My tooth is.
All right. So now is it on me, the camera? So
yep.
Just goes.
Yeah, it literally fucking does that. It literally does that, and then it kills him. And it's like, fuck you, movie. The raptor broke the fourth wall. Apparently, it is the smartest raptor in the universe because it realizes it's in a movie.
Yeah, and also, is it then, by the way, this raptor is then no longer fazed by the tranquilizers.
Yeah, it pretended to be asleep.
So it knew. So what do the tranquilizers even do? So are they implying that this raptor's immune to tranquilizing it, or
they're implying everything? Because okay, we're gonna get to that in a minute because the movie implies something else too that it doesn't stop to think about. But we're gonna get to that at the end. So the raptor kills the guy, and then it kills the auctioneer, the black market guy too. And so now it's loose in the mansion. So Chris Pratt and Claire are running around. And then in the hallway, who do they run into but, Eli, the nerdy, not a villain. And so now Eli is about to drop a plot bomb. That is not a plot bomb. And I saw fucking the second the movie was trying to hide something from me, I guessed it right.
Yeah, I know what you're about to say.
So Eli goes, oh, you and Chris Pratt, you and her, you're protecting this little girl now? Well, what are you going to do when I tell you that she's a clone? She's not the granddaughter. She's a clone of the daughter. That's the end of that. We never hear about that again. It never comes up in the movie. It's never dealt with in the movie.
No, they do. I'll say this. I'll do one small correction. I agree with Alec. They completely skip over this. The only other time this is brought up is way later, and I'll bring it up at the time.
Oh, yeah, for the retarded ending.
Yeah, for the retarded ending. That's it. But
so,
it's one line of dialogue, and that's it.
Yeah. So he says she's a clone, and I knew it because earlier in the movie, when the grandfather was looking at a photo album, like when she comes in the room, he quickly shuts it.
Yeah,
and then they try and red herring the audience by, like, she goes, Daddy, did my mother ever go to the original park? And then he goes, yes, she did. And the camera focuses in on like a diorama of like the original Jurassic Park with the Jeep.
Yeah.
They're trying to make you think her mother was John Hammond's grandkid from the first Jurassic Park. But I was like, bullish fucking shit. You closed the photo album. You're not sneaking this one past me.
Yeah, and also every time this girl comes back multiple times while her grandfather's asleep and is trying to grab at this photo
and everyone stops her. And it's like fucking bullshit. If it was John Hammond's granddaughter, then we would have seen it.
Yeah, it's
no one would be keeping it fucking secret, that's for sure.
I'll say this, by the way, I feel bad to say this, but Alec and I both kind of feel the same way about kids. This little girl is a terrible actress, and she's really hamming it up. Like I guess she's doing her best. I mean, keep in mind, these directors told somebody it was okay for the dinosaur to wink at the camera. So I don't blame her entirely. But literally, after someone tells her she's a clone, this is her face. She goes behind the corner, they go, "Get out of here!" With it. By the way, you forgot to mention that as he says that, the punch of that scene literally comes from a dinosaur crashing into his two security.
Yeah.
Taking them out through this frame.
Yeah.
And then Chris Pratt, Claire, and her go back into this little atrium area, and she's doing this against the wall. She's going.
Yeah, it's unfair. Like Chris Pratt and frickin' and Bryce Dallas Howard, they're unfazed by this. They don't even acknowledge it.
Yeah, see, it would have been funnier if Chris Pratt went, "No, she fucking isn't." Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're allowed one fuck, he should just have been like, "You're fucking stupid."
Yeah, well, and so one, this is like, see, and this is my thing that why this is a dumb idea for the movie is like they did it so they could have the crappy ending. But like the implications of this are like astronomical.
Like way bigger than dinosaurs.
Yeah, because that means, so in the beginning of the movie, they say John Hammond and Benjamin Lockwood parted ways. You know, they had an argument. And so the argument was he was cloning his daughter. Here's my beef. So it is implied that the daughter died so the girl is like 8, 9 years old, maybe.
Yeah.
So that means the daughter had to have died like 8 or 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that means this guy cloned. He managed to get people to help him clone a human being, all on the down low.
Yeah, no, but nobody felt like recording that. There wasn't even anything subtle about it. Like if the movie had been like this, if she had been watching on the computer, right? She sees the clip of Blue, but then it says like there's a file on the computer because remember she's not allowed to see this photograph in the book. Yeah. But better yet, the young tech savvy kid watches the video of Chris Pratt, sees up in the corner one labeled the name of the mother or whatever her name is, or and it's like number 2. She clicks on it, and then it shows like a person coming out of like an MRI machine that looks like a little kid, and then right as the villain comes in, she has to turn it off. So she can get the answer. That would have been something at least better for her to be aware of it. But it's also like like you said, it has so many negative and astronomical ramifications that are just swept under the rug. And also, no matter how this movie ends, that would scar a child permanently. Like, I'm a psyche. If it's like the people fear, that's literally the Matrix, you guys. You are not actually anything. You are just a clone. You are not anyone's. You don't belong to anyone. We've all been pretending that you're normal, and you're not. Okay?
Yeah. Well, it's also like, I mean, honestly, whole science fiction like novels have been based off of this question. Like, this is such a big topic, and it's like Jurassic Park's like, we're gonna just throw this in here and fuck it. So
this movie's more about dinosaurs, not cloning.
Yeah. So moving on, the Indoraptor starts chasing the Chris Pratt the kid and Bryce Dallas Howard. And so then while that's going on, the not Asian girl is like, Wu is like, I need you to get DNA of this raptor. And she's handcuffed to the raptor cage, which is like ludicrously dangerous.
Yeah, she's right within snapping distance, and Blue is only trustworthy with Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
So
it's like, that's like her, like that dinosaur would have eaten her arm.
Also, the science that the way she speaks as someone who's supposed to be educated in zoology and paleontology and all of this stuff makes no sense, because he goes, I need you to get those samples. I need you to, do that. And she goes, this is literally the face she makes. She goes, she shouldn't cough. But she goes, I gave it a blood transfusion with a T-Rex, so it's a total sock drawer.
Yeah, which is like,
it's a sock drawer.
Which is like, that also doesn't make sense, but whatever.
Yeah, it's like, let's just gloss over how you use no medical knowledge or terms to explain what you did. You're just like, because even the Wu guy goes, what?
Yeah. And then so the black guy comes in and he knocks Wu out, and then some thugs drag Wu off screen, and I assume he's still alive, but he technically would have died because they didn't drag him very far, because the guy who dragged him comes back in like 10 seconds.
It also would have been better if he died, because then it would have shown how strong the dinosaur was to take 2 of those darts in the neck and be fine. Because never mind. Go ahead.
Either way, so black guy lets the raptor out to attack the guards. Or no, the not Asian girl does that, but they let the raptor out to chase the guards, and then the guards shoot a tank, an oxygen tank, and so the kids run away, and the raptor's eating a dude's face, and then the raptor literally does a action movie jump away from an explosion.
You know what it did? I'll tell you exactly what it did. It did in the movie The Watchmen, the scene where Silk Spectre comes down through the ceiling and there's a fire and it explodes out, and it does a slow-mo of her turning around and then a speed up as she runs out as the explosion chases her hair.
Yeah.
And she jumps into the night owl, plane or whatever and leaves. That's what this raptor does. It does a complete Mission Impossible, like, whoa, 2 seconds left on the bomb, and like goes blah, 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 blah. And the only smart thing that the movie even tried to do and tried to save it, some animator tried doing this, is when the raptor jumps, it doesn't stick the landing. It like falls really clumsily, like it hits in the metal. And I'm like, well, at least that's some realism for once in this fucking movie.
So
fall.
Yeah. So now the Indoraptor is chasing Chris Pratt and Claire. Now, you might be wondering, what happened to the not Asian girl and the black guy? Well, I'm just going to cap them off real quick, because they then get banished by the movie again, because they go to a room, and because of the explosion, poison gas is filling up the basement where all the dinosaurs are being held.
Yeah, HVC.
Yeah, so they reset the computer system to try and get the air conditioning going to suck up the poison, which is not how air systems work, but I'm only a maintenance guy. So essentially, so when they reset the power, the plan Chris Pratt and Claire were doing to hide from the Indoraptor fails, and then it attacks them. And so then essentially the little girl escapes, and then the raptor starts chasing the little girl, because it's Jurassic Park and dinosaurs have to stop what they're doing to chase like whatever story demands.
Yeah.
So then the little girl runs and she hides in a room for the final trailer shot of the raptor getting in the room and doing the long fingers that don't make sense anatomically. That scene actually fucked with me as an artist, because so the hand is reaching out to grab her, but the head has to come into view too. So the raptor is literally, like, if you're thinking about it in terms of like what it's doing, is the raptor is bent over like this, and it's doing like Yeah. It's like that's the motion it's doing because the hand is it's like its shoulder is up. So it's because the joint is up here. So
there's a few times in this movie where the raptor or one
so
of
it's like fucking this. It's like I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
There's one where the raptor is literally doing this on like a pole. It's like holding it with its hand and leaning to check something.
Yeah.
Like
because it's super smart.
Dude, blue suit just doing that. They didn't know how to animate it. They're like, just make it look like the dinosaurs doing that. I'm like, dinosaurs don't do that. They don't brace. They don't grab things with their arms like most.
Yeah, they're not apes.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're not gorillas. So what are you talking about?
So the raptor. So it does that scene from the trailer, and then this is the part that I was going to talk about. Chris Pratt comes in the room with a gun.
Oh, the Wolverine shot? Yeah.
And he shoots the raptor 3 times.
For good luck.
Here's my problem, is we hear bullets, casings, we hear some metallic sound hit the floor. But we don't know if it's the casings for the bullets or the bullets hitting the dinosaur. So here's my problem. If the dinosaur, the raptor, is impervious to bullets, then there's no reason a tinier raptor could fuck it up. You feel me? Like a raptor's claws grabbing does not have more force per square inch than a bullet.
Well, also think about this. This raptor has been fighting a smaller one, or is about to fight a smaller one. It got tranked twice in the neck.
Yeah, but see, that's my problem. It's like
it gets tranked in the neck, so it's able to get tranquilized, so it's able to stick it.
Yeah, and tranquilizer darts are just fired by an air canister, which would not be as
little arrows. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like so why would bullets not work?
Well, and that's the thing. He shoots it 3 times. It just seems to kind of go like the thing. Like I called it the Wolverine shot because it's sort of like in the movie X-Men: Days of Future Past, where Wolverine gets riddled with bullets and then just flexes and they all come falling out.
Yeah, but it's like, why would the raptor be impervious to that crap? The movie never established that the raptor was bulletproof. You know, and then it's like, why would anything hurt it? Why would a smaller raptor be a threat to it in any way? Because that smaller raptor is not going to be strong enough to attack it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that's like if you're wearing Kevlar, you know, a timber wolf is not going to be able to like scratch you or bite through that.
Yeah, it's
or at the very least, it's not going to hurt you. It may give you a little cut, but it's not going to kill you. It's not going to break bone.
Yeah, well, so then after it gets shot, what happens?
So then when it gets shot, Blue comes in the room because I don't know why, because it wants to. Chris Pratt and it have a love connection out of the fucking Titanic.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what it is. I swear to God. I mean, I know I harp on it, but it literally is like this movie is just beating you to death with like Chris Pratt and this raptor have like the love story of the Titanic together. And like Chris Pratt is an old woman on the boat, like throwing the gem over, going, "I miss you, raptor."
Yeah, well, he's looking out at the raptor at the end of the movie, and he goes, "We'll never let go.
You're gonna grow old, Chris Pratt, and have lots of babies."
Yeah, and then the raptor's I'm not even kidding. The last shot of one of the raptors in this movie, it goes like this. It goes.
Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the raptor goes on.
That was good. We were in sync.
Yeah, it was. So finally it becomes the little girl and Chris Pratt are crawling as the raptors are fighting throughout the scenery. And then finally, everyone gets up on the roof, including Claire for some reason. And so then the
comes up with a gun.
Yeah, she comes up with a gun. That's the stupid part. It's like she comes up with a gun, Like Blue gets beaten for some reason. But
Yeah.
like she comes up with a gun. She like got hurt in the leg in the last time we saw her, but has managed to like get up the entire building and then somehow knew that they were on the roof to the Smithsonian building.
Yeah, it also changes her injury. Like in the movie, it shows the Indoraptor, like it does this thing where it does kind of a sonar click where it kind of goes like with a
with its little claw.
Like just like a bird checking for like a woodpecker checking for something. So it's checking to see if it can hear things in its surrounding. And it does that. It's doing the tapping thing, and it pierces her leg like it goes through like a stinger, and it looks like it goes all the way through. And then the next time it shows it as a close-up, and it looks just like a scrape.
Yeah, and then she climbs up to the roof with this same injury, and it's gone.
Yeah, like it didn't affect her at all.
Yeah. So essentially the thing is like they try and get the raptor to like jump, into a hole. And then at first it doesn't work. And then suddenly Blue shows up and jumps on the raptor, knocking it through the roof. And then the Indoraptor lands on the skull of a Triceratops, impaling it.
By the way, were you not? I totally was. And I thought this is something that you would think of as well. Did it not feel like the ending to A Great Mouse Detective?
Yes. Yes.
It looked like it. It looked like a rainy tower and they fall through the glass, and instead of it being the ticking clock, it's like the steeple of the house.
Yeah.
It falls, it's impaled. And I was like, this is like just a clusterfuck of wouldn't it be cool if, and then like all this stuff. And like I don't know. It's hard to explain that if it fell onto the dinosaur, like the model or the old bones, Triceratops, whatever.
Yeah.
Was that intentional, or did it just by happenstance Blue?
Yeah, so that was my thought. It's like you all didn't like plan this fucking thing. You didn't plan on it to fall onto the Triceratops.
Yeah, they just wanted it to fall through and hopefully it would just be away from them.
Yeah, but like so the movie just kind of kills it to wrap it up.
Yeah.
So then not Asian girl and black guy show up. Like the raptor runs out the door. This is the dumbest part too. Blue runs out the door. And then less than a minute later, these two run in the same door. And I'm like, did you guys not see the fucking raptor? Like Blue still would kill you all. I don't understand why you all are immune to this now.
There's a lot of things in this movie, by the way, of lack of reaction due to the fact that the majority of it is green screen for the actors. So they aren't told exactly what the schematics are of the scene. Like there's one that sticks out to me where Chris Pratt is looking up, right? And there's a T-Rex coming at him just before they jump into the water in the beginning part of the movie.
Yeah.
Before they leave the island. And there's a part where as the T-Rex is yelling, it's in the trailer.
Yeah.
As it's doing that.
I like that your T-Rex is Hank Hill.
Oh! God damn it! All right, so anyway. But so the volcano explodes and sends out a shockwave that makes I saw the T-Rex goes like this. It goes, whoa. Like it reacts to the shockwave like it got deafened for a second. And Chris Pratt is just standing there and he doesn't even move. He doesn't react at all. And
it's a huge
acting is reacting. He reacted to nothing. He reacted to no T-Rex. He reacted to no volcanic explosion. And that's another thing throughout this movie. People are getting screamed at by T-Rexes and raptors in their face. And not once did they show anybody have a ringing in the ears. In this movie. Like no realism. It's like dude, when a human being yells in your ear, it can rupture your eardrum. And these things are screaming louder than a volcano.
And no one even
budges.
Yeah.
No, they're only scared of teeth in this movie, not sound. So
all right, so let's get to the stupid ending. I'm ready. I'm ready to set this up. So not Asian girl and black guy come in and they're like, Chris Pratt and Claire, we need you to come down here for reasons. We somehow knew you were on the roof of the Smithsonian building, and some reason we didn't see Blue, and we also didn't know the Indoraptor was running around. I don't know why. It's like there's a ton of people with half-eaten faces, so I don't know why you would run around this mansion. Yeah. I would fucking hide in the closet. Try
in bed.
Yeah, like try 911 or some shit,
Yeah, nobody tried doing that, by the way.
Well, we're going to get to the ending, and then that's going to become very apparent. So they all go to the control room, and it's like, Claire, we can't say that the poison is leaking in, and we can't stop it. And so then Claire lets all the dinosaurs out of their individual cages. And so they're all crowded in this room that got bigger. You notice that? It's like all the dinosaurs are able to crowd into this room.
Yeah.
And it somehow got like 10 times bigger to accommodate all these fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah, it looked like a huge clusterfuck. I think they also forgot how many dinosaurs they rescued on the island. They rescued 11, and there's like 50 in this shot.
Yeah. Well, and also, like, they're not all in the shot. It's like half of them are like, I'm like, yeah, no, they wouldn't all fit in there. Like, they're not tiny. This room was way smaller. They would all be crushed to death like the fucking, like the traumatizing scene from Watershed Down.
Wow, that's going back.
Yeah. Remember that scene where the rabbits are all suffocating in the tunnel? That's what it's supposed to look like, but it's like, this is all fucking, you've changed everything. Yeah, so then Claire is like, let them all out of their cages, and they're all the animals are crying. And there's a big red button that's going to open the big door.
To let all the shit out.
Now, here's the thing. Is this mansion is on the continental United States.
Yeah.
So when Claire does the adult thing and says, we can't let them out because it's fucking ridiculous.
Her character arc.
Yeah. And she looks at Chris Pratt, and Chris Pratt goes, good job, Claire. You made the right choice. Now, David, would you like to tell us what happens immediately after in a scene that the timing had to have been changed in the editing room to not be comical?
Yeah, here, 2 seconds. I'm gonna make this a memorable moment, everybody. So she says all that stuff. Oh, good job, Claire. Way to not do it. And the little girl just goes, you know what? I think I'm going to let them out. And hits by the way, she has a presidential red button that's like, don't press.
Don't press. This opens the big door to let the dinosaurs out.
It opens the big door. It's not just like the other button.
Yeah, and you're right. The little girl literally is like, you know what? I'm going to press this button. And David, would you like to now tell the audience of the line that she says that they thought was going to justify the whole clone thing?
Yeah. She goes like this. She hits the button, and she goes, they all go, like, what? Like, you couldn't know. What are you doing? And then instead of going, what the fuck, and hitting the button to where it closes again, even stopping it, they allow her to do it and have this moment, and she just goes, we can't kill them. They're alive. Like me.
Yeah. Congratulations, audience. That's how this shit is justified. The cloning subplot is purely in there to set up a reason for the little girl to press the button and everybody not say, you are a dumb, ignorant child. No, that's really it. It's like they want you to feel like the little girl is right in doing this because they're trying to do the whole ending. So the ending of The Lost World,
yeah,
is after the T-Rex is put back on the boat and sent back is John Hammond in an interview saying, I was wrong to make a theme park. They need to be put on the island and left the fuck alone. You know? And then it has the shot of the dinosaurs all being happy on the island. And then that's the end of the movie. This movie wants that moment, but it knows that the audience is not going to agree with this movie's trying to have that moment because of the sequence we're about to watch. But they want the little girl to be justified in doing this horrible decision, so they do the clone subplot, which is still not dealt with and ignored, and we don't get closure on that. That's just the end. She's a clone, and she let him out. So the dinosaurs run out, and then they kill the bad guy, the assistant Eli guy, because you know he has to get his comeuppance to get eaten by the T-Rex. Because we didn't, you know, because the T-Rex has to be at the end of all these fucking movies. So he gets eaten by the T-Rex, and then all the dinosaurs run into the woods. So the movie ends with Jeff Goldblum collecting the other half of his paycheck, and he's saying lines saying like, oh, well, I guess dinosaurs are with us now, and we... You know, damn, it really sucks that we didn't kill them faster. And while he's doing this little speech, it cuts to the dinosaurs all clashing with humanity or getting ready to. Yeah, so we see the water dinosaur from the beginning of the movie that had gotten out at the beginning of the movie because the door got left open.
Yeah.
And it's literally in a wave about to eat people that are surfing.
Yeah, it is.
Like, it is straight up about to eat a bunch of people.
And then there's a T-Rex that is crushing through the fence of a zoo and yelling at a lion. And the lion.
Yeah, and it's about to go eat all those animals. And then the shot is of a raptor, the raptor Blue, running over a hill and then looking over like a Nevada suburb. You know? And it's like... And then Jeff Goldblum says the line, "Welcome to Jurassic World." So, and then that's how the movie is. And then, no, here's my problem with this ending. I had a big beef. So, we see Jeff Goldblum saying some meaningless dialogue, and then he says, "Welcome to Jurassic World." And we just watched scenes of all these carnivores about to fucking murder people. Like, the raptor is going to go into this neighborhood and, eat children.
Yeah, it's overlooking, it looks like Santa Cruz or something like that.
Yeah, it's about to go eat children in the United States. And this water dinosaur is about to eat a bunch of, Paseo Beach surfers or some shit. A lot of people are about to be eaten alive. And then it's literally all these dinosaurs are getting ready to fuck up society. And then it goes, "Welcome to Jurassic World." And so this is all a horrifying notion, of dinosaurs are about to start fucking shit up. And then it goes, "Welcome to Jurassic World." Cut to black. Da, 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 da. And it's stupid because it's turn that off.
Honestly, no, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking "Welcome to Jurassic World." He puts on glasses and it goes, "Yeah!"
That would have been a more appropriate song even, because the John Williams theme, it's called "Welcome to Jurassic Park." The John Williams theme is all about wonder, the wonder of nature. It's about, wow, isn't nature powerful? Isn't dinosaurs majestic?
Damn, nature, you scary.
Well, and that's the thing is, it's like it doesn't. You just showed us 3 scenes of dinosaurs about to like kill the shit out of people. Like that's not the scene. You don't end with the uplifting John Williams song. This isn't a glorious moment. This is a moment of horror.
Yeah,
this is a horror thing.
It's interspliced those scenes of Chris Pratt, Claire, and I guess their newly adopted daughter who said fuck her grandpa and everything. After she found out she was a clone, she just didn't care anymore. And they're all kind of just driving, but they have this concerned look on their face, and they look out the window, and there's just like 3 pterodactyls flying in front of the sun. And you're like,
yeah.
Is this supposed to be a positive ending to the story?
Yeah. Well, and also they show clips of some dinosaurs that got bought on trucks to go places. Yeah. But that's stupid because it's like, okay, so are we going to have fucking Dino Wars next movie?
Probably. I mean,
and then Wu is supposedly alive, and he's got the DNA for everything still, which thus begs the question: if you have the DNA to make more, why didn't you just sell the fucking DNA instead of wasting all this time getting dinosaurs?
See, that's what I was just saying though about like earlier when they are trying to sell them one dinosaur. I'm like, are you selling the dinosaur and all the DNA that comes with it? Because one dinosaur won't give you more dinosaurs in the future. You're just investing $21 million into something that'll die in 20 years.
Yeah.
Or less, because if you put it into a war situation, it might just get shot in the head.
Well, it's like, oh, we're taking a dinosaur. One of them's driving through the desert, and it's like, you don't know if that dinosaur could survive in the desert. It would die in that fucking truck.
Yeah.
You're not driving that to fucking Australia. You're not driving that to Soviet Russia. It's a dinosaur.
Yeah, how are you gonna fly it to Russia?
You're not dragging an Allosaurus to frickin' Serbia. You're not trucking one fucking down there.
It's also, this is something I'm curious about you, Alec. How many people were in the theater watching this with you?
You know, there was actually a surprising amount, and then of course, one thing that was infuriating was when the dinosaur is hunting Chris Pratt and them all in the Smithsonian Museum, there was a little kid crying because the dinosaur is scary and not fun, and the parent is just ignoring this kid.
Oh, that sucks.
Like the little kid is crying, like actively doesn't want to be there because this movie is not fun. Which is, you know what, that's another problem with this fucking movie. Is this movie isn't fun. It's not a fun movie.
No, it's really dour. Like almost everything about it's negative. There's no cool parts. They don't make you like dinosaurs. They make you hate the activists. They make you hate the villain, even though the villain is right. They make you think Jeff Goldblum, like, why did they bring him out so that he could give his 2 cents on something when technically this trial that he's speaking at is already, that's at the very end. Okay, so they're cutting in between at the beginning and the end, but this trial has already taken place. So it's like, so this trial is like showing you that after all of this is still how negative Jeff Goldblum is about the whole situation. If we're not careful, they were here a lot of years before us, and they will be here after. Welcome to Jurassic World. And you're like, well, goddamn. I mean, it's not a very good lead-in to the next one. And I've got to say, is when I saw this movie, I saw this at the Hollywood ArcLight. What was it? Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. And I saw the 6:30 p.m. showing. And I walked in, and they go, "Okay, here are the seats available." And I was like, "Oh my God, there's not a lot of seats available." And they go, "No, sir. Those are the ones that have nobody sitting in them. Those aren't the ones where people are sitting." And I go, "What?" And they go, "This is wide open." There were 8 people in my theater.
Yeah.
And like some of them were like munching popcorn, and like there were 3 people to my right, like 5 seats down, like nowhere near me. I was completely fine. Yeah. But Alec knows that I would have hated these people if they had sat any closer to me. just because I can't stand it when people are eating loud. And Alec also knows that I hate it when children make noise. I mean, Alec has seen me literally snap. He and I both have done it, where we snapped when we were with Kyle at some group of people behind us. We've done it a couple of times. Alec and I shut that shit down because it's like, we paid a lot of money for these tickets, and you were not fucking it up with your rapper. You know what I mean?
Well, so real quick, I did want to bring up a theater thing that would be interesting next time you're down here that we'll have to go spend the waste of the money on.
Yeah.
But actually, let me do that first, and then I'll have my thesis on this movie. So there's actually, I saw at like one of the theaters, Tinseltown at OKC.
Yeah.
They have a new attraction that's essentially like the seats are like a carnival ride where they shift and move.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, this is the stupidest thing. Me and David need to waste a bunch of money on it.
Yeah, we should throw $20 at that experience.
Exactly. And then we can
I'm sure Ant-Man and the Wasp will be out. Do you want to feel like the Wasp in this movie or like Ant-Man?
Do you want to slightly shift in a seat during a movie?
Whoa! 3D
Don't get me, T-Rex.
Look, it's like my hand's coming right at me.
Yeah. So let me say something with Jurassic World.
Yeah.
And this is why, to the thing of like the kid where he was crying, the kid was crying because the movie wasn't fun and it was scary, you know? Yeah. So the original, people have said this, I double checked it so that I don't fuck it up, but the original movie had 15 minutes of dinosaurs in it. 15. It's a small number of that movie. And you know what? Not all the 15 minutes are not all the raptors or T-Rex. A fair amount of the dinosaurs in that movie are the brontosauruses. You know?
Yeah, slowly eating plants.
Yeah. Well, it's like we spend a ton of time with Grant and the kids. And they're not running from dinosaurs. Like most of the movie, they're just walking through the jungle, experiencing the dinosaurs. Yeah. You know? It's like we get the scary part with the T-Rex, and then for like 3/4 of the movie, Malcolm's laying shirtless in an office, and Sarah and Hammond are like discussing how to get the power on. And then the kids and Grant are like sitting in a tree, petting the brontosauruses. You know, man, dinosaurs aren't all bad. They're just animals. And it's like, that's why kids can watch that original, because it has, like, we know the dinosaurs are scary, but we also know that there's quiet times in the movie. Yeah. Where we can just sit and watch the brontosauruses.
Yeah, and see, and that's the thing, is you can kind of look at that as sort of a metaphor or a parallel with reality. Is like in the originals, there was very little dinosaurs, but they were more of a spectacle. And it was like the first time in film that we were really getting a chance to see it look so authentic. And then you see the people, you relate to the people, you're connecting with the people, and then you also, because you connect with them, you're connecting to this moment of them experiencing the dinosaurs for the first time.
Yeah.
But then, as it's gotten progressively more, and with these new Jurassic movies, we have a bigger spectacle that we are able to create with all these special effects. But just like in the movie, instead of petting the dinosaur, you are in this encapsulated little tube, this little orb, this bubble. And it keeps you disconnected from the dinosaurs. You're literally not physically seeing anybody touch them. And anytime they do, they're harming people. And they don't, for me, I'm not a dinosaur lover, but this is a movie that just encourages me to not like dinosaurs. The only sad moments in the movie are when you see Blue dying from the bullet wound and that brontosaurus dying in the fire, because that's the only time in the movie that there's a weird tonal shift where they linger on it and you treat these dinosaurs like they're just everyday animals.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of the thing of like, we spent like with that stuff, you know, it's like, yeah, the dinosaurs are the raptors are chasing them at the end. But you know, I mean, the kids beat the Raptors. That's kind of the point. It's like they beat the Raptors. And it's scary, but then the kids get away and they get back to Dr. Grant. You know?
And in the Jurassic Park thing, like when the villains, there were like creative things that they did where they showed like one of the scariest things that stuck with me was from the original Jurassic Park where Newman, I forget his name, I think his name is Michael.
Yeah.
Something White or Wright.
Yeah.
Michael Wright. And he plays Newman on Seinfeld. And he drops these capsules into the running water from all the rain. Because like I told you, not a dinosaur movie unless if it's fucking torrentially pouring.
Yeah.
The dinosaur, like he looks up because he hears like a like that, and he looks up, and one of those dinosaurs that has the thing that fans out, and it goes, ah!
Yeah, the Dilophosaurus.
Yeah, and it spits, at the time, I thought it spit acid in his face.
Yeah.
And so it was burning his face. And because the whole problem was, it's like, he was the bad guy, I think he was trying to steal the genetics or something like that.
Well, it's the whole thing is it's like he dies that way because he was the one who turned off the power and put everyone in danger.
Yeah.
And it's like
it's satisfying, but it's also it sticks with you and it's kind of scary and creepy.
I mean, in the movie, I think with the original one, we only see like 5 people die in the entire movie. So you have like the guy in the beginning who gets pulled in the cage. Yeah. We have you know, Newman. Samuel L. Jackson is dead, but we don't see it, so he dies off screen. We just see his arm.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see the lawyer, and then Muldoon.
Yeah,
he's the clever girl guy, you know, and that's it. And that's it. 5 people.
Yeah,
But like this one, it was like, you know, the scene in the Smithsonian. It's like the raptor is chasing them for fucking like 10 minutes.
It's a lot.
So,
like
I was
out for a lot of that.
Yeah, and so for like a little kid, like that's a lot of stress. Like the raptors chase the kids in the first movie for like a minute, and then the kids out with the raptors and get away. You know?
And in this movie, though, I mean, they treat it like this raptor has like a bloodlust for them, like specifically for them, and cannot be deterred, and no other noises distracted. And it's not, you think it would be hell-bent on escaping because it's been cooped up this whole time. But no, it's hell-bent on attacking the people who tried to save it.
Yeah. Well, and also, too, the intro raptor, it's like, so when the raptors chase the kid in the original, it's fairly brightly lit. You can see them, you know, they're not like in shadow and stuff. It's pretty bright. And this one, when the intro raptor's chasing them in the museum, it's like pitch black and it's like sinister lighting. And it's like, yeah, this is too much. It's not a fun movie anymore. You know, and this is honestly, this is a problem that goes all the way back to Jurassic Park 2. Like when the raptors are chasing them at the end, and it's like the field, they start killing them, and then they chase them to the abandoned warehouse and stuff, and the girl does gymnastics.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. But it's like it begins all the way back there. And it's just been like every sequel has been fucking committed to getting more and more unfun and unpleasant.
Yeah, every movie kind of go in that direction of making it really dark and brooding.
Which, you know, I feel the problem is that people don't understand. Jurassic Park, in my opinion, is not a monster movie. It's an adventure film.
Yeah.
I think Steven Spielberg's mentality of making it was, boy, those Indiana Jones movies are fun, or were fun to make. E.T. was fun to make. I'm going to make a movie about dinosaurs that's exactly like those, where it's got some scary parts, but it's got some fun parts and some calm parts. where it's not a fucking monster movie. It's not about the monsters.
Well,
it's
and
about the people.
Yeah, you're learning about the people and their journey through this as much as you are about the dinosaurs. And it's more like you're in awe because they're in awe because you both are seeing this shit for the first time. It's, you know, but this was just, it was overkill. There was so much shit happening. It was insane. The volcano sequence is like, shit is exploding. Dinosaurs are on fire. Everybody's running. There's dirt coming. Like when Batman v Superman, when Batman's like running into the smoke as Superman's collapsing buildings and you can't see anything. Like it's just hectic. And it's all over the place. I mean, this was like the movie Battleship meets Jurassic Park. Like it was way over the top. It was like a Michael Bay film.
Yeah, and then you get to the mansion and it becomes a scary monster movie. And it's like, every time I think about this, I'm like, where is my fucking adventure?
It's not even a monster movie. You know what I thought when they were at the mansion the whole time?
Yeah.
You ever see the movie The Tuxedo with Jackie Chan?
Yes.
It makes me feel like the villain was like, I'm going to make water that dehydrates you. So you'll have to drink more water. And I'm going to own the water company. That's what it felt like. It felt so cheesy. Everybody's coming up in tuxedos and, champagne.
Yeah, and then the raptor breaks out and violently murders everyone. Which, that's something else, too, that I have a problem with. It's like, and this is something, like I had mentioned, where they kind of like, they made sure this time that when the dinosaurs killed people, they were only bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of this problem of like the original Jurassic Park. You saw the lawyer get eaten, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But you never saw it up close. The T-Rex would just grab someone and then just kind of pull them away, you know? And that was all you ever saw.
Or you see the legs in the mouth kind of thing.
Yeah, but it was, that was it. And when the raptors killed people, you never saw them do anything. When the Dilophosaurus kills Ned, the car is all steamy, so you don't see anything. And it's one of those things where it's like, after the first one, everyone was like, oh no, you got to show the dinosaurs violently killing people. So, like, that was one of those things that, like, people said I was, getting over the top about, but I always feel I'm right. It's like, in Jurassic World, that secretary lady just gets, it's like a glory shot of her getting eaten alive. And it's like, she didn't do anything wrong. She's just like some person. And then, like, it's all these people at the park who are not evil. They're just guests. And they're just being horribly hurt and killed. Same thing. It's like when the Indominus Rex breaks out. Like, it just eats, like, guys that are just, like, blue-collar workers.
Well, honestly, I prefer more stuff if you're doing this dinosaur movie and you're messing around with genetics. Make it more of a story based around, like, tell you what, we're going to contaminate all of their genetics that they make. So the dinosaurs that they make are going to be inverted or something. Like, they're going to die instead of be born normal. And it becomes more about fighting the genetic war as opposed to fighting the dinosaurs. Because the A-team, like 10 dudes with guns could take out the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Like, if you bring a tank, it's like, oh, this dinosaur is a real tank. You know what might actually stop the tank dinosaur? A tank. One that doesn't have skin that feels things when you hit it.
Yeah. Well, a great example, a great thing to think about that I know you'll appreciate is Jurassic Park. It's the exact same thing of like the good seasons of The Walking Dead, where it's like the walkers and the dinosaurs, they're a force of nature. That's it. They're not cool. They're not there to be the villain of the story. They're not there to have a bloodlust against Chris Pratt and chase him the whole fucking building.
Yeah, it's about watching how people adapt to this environment.
Yeah.
And how people use their creative wiles to escape something like that. So if this woman was a paleontologist or whatever she called herself, she should do something where maybe she acts like she's helping the villain, but she's actually creating something that only a paleontologist would be aware of. I don't know. Or, only she knows how to work or create a specific gadget that can make it work this way. The computer hacker guy, maybe he hacks the computer, and instead of it saying like $28 million, it says, oh, you purchased it for $100 million, and causes an internal conflict about the bidding war.
Yeah,
nothing happened with that. He didn't hack. The guy's literally on a laptop in the arena looking at a screen that says 127 million, 128 million, 129 million. And the hacker is not hacking it.
Yeah.
At all.
I mean, that would be a great one if it's like his contribution was, which so like one of the things that the villain repeats, like for the assistant Eli guy repeats like 4 times, is like, I'm not responsible. Or he always said one of 2 things, like either I'm not responsible for this dinosaur stuff because I didn't make them, or you guys are just like me. You're exploiting the dinosaurs for money too. And the problem with that is it's like that never goes anywhere and it's not resolved. And it's like you're exploiting them just like me. It's like you're selling them to like Serbian arms dealers. Claire just had a fucking Disneyland park. Yeah, like that's entirely different.
Yeah, but also I wish they'd explored it more, because I think you might actually get people having a real debate about your movie going, if this were real, I would side with the arms dealer guy. Just because of the fact that he's like, yeah, you're both exploiting it. And some people might feel that that's true. When I first heard him say that, my first instinct wasn't, he's wrong. I was actually thinking, well, that's kind of true. They both are exploiting it. They're using it for financial gain. He goes, what's the difference? Now, granted, you can have a difference, but that doesn't make your difference right, and it doesn't make his difference wrong.
Yeah, well, it's kind of that thing of like, you have to just getting him killed by the T-Rex does not invalidate him, and letting the dinosaurs now into the United States is like not a good thing.
Yeah, and also it's like they didn't even bother with simple resolution, where it had like, just do a little 6 months later at the bottom of the screen, so that when Claire and Chris Pratt and the girl are in the car, it doesn't seem like they just adopted her and they just moved on with their lives. And maybe it showed them the reason they were able to adopt her is because the little girl inherited all the fucking money. And so they were able to then live great lives and then build the cabin that he was wanting to build with the money that she got from the grandfather.
Honestly, I get the weird suspicion that like the next movie is going to be post-apocalyptic Jurassic Park.
Oh, you think so? It's going to be like
I genuinely believe that. Like, the next movie is going to be like the dinosaurs just completely steamrolled mankind, and now it's like Planet of the Apes, and Woody Harrelson is like, I hate you monkey dinosaurs.
Yeah, he's like shaving his head.
Yeah, he's like,
I hate you dinosaurs.
It's a fucking, I get this suspicion that like this is how stupid it's gonna get.
I think this movie's actually gonna make them stop. I think
it made all its money back. It made all its money back in overseas. Yeah, it released internationally before the United States, and apparently it made all its money back. I can look up.
Pull up the figures. Let me know how much it made. God damn it. I want these movies to fall flat on their face. If it was just domestic and there wasn't a foreign market, this movie would have tanked it. I mean, because the theaters were basically empty. For Los Angeles to have an opening at 6:30, like the week or the weekend that it comes out, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, it grossed worldwide. It is grossed. Sorry, I forget how numbers work. Yeah, it's gross like $1 billion already.
What?
Yeah, it's like 1671713208. I'm not retarded, am I?
Hold on, I don't know. Let me see. Are you just on IMDb?
No, Box Office Mojo.
Box
Oh
office.
no, sorry, that's Jurassic World. I'm retarded. I clicked the wrong one. I was like, okay, worldwide it's at thus far, it is at 8 million.
8 million?
Yeah, and its production budget was 170 million. So the worldwide gross was $8 million.
Hold on a second. That can't be right. This says production budget 170 million. It says domestic total as of June 28th, 2018. So as of yesterday.
Yeah, that's domestic.
Yeah, domestic is $204 million. So it's made $34 million over its budget so far.
No. You got to look slightly lower and to the left. You'll see foreign. You'll see total lifetime grosses.
Oh, so you're saying 800 million?
Yeah, for worldwide.
I think you kept saying 8 million by mistake.
Oh yeah, I did then.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so 800 million. So the foreign was $600 million overseas.
God damn it, that's nuts.
Yeah, so they're definitely making another one.
Fucking A. You know, here's the thing. I've got to say, for the actors, what's her name? Bryce something?
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Sure. In these movies, I think she's very underwhelming. I don't think it showcases her talents at all. I know she's a good actress, but it really falls flat for me. Chris Pratt is fine. He's adequate, but it's clear that this Indiana Jones phase of his career is over. Like this Harrison, like I'm going to be Peter Quill in all these movies, and I'm going to do Jurassic World, and I'm going to do rom-com. It's like, dude, I think you passed. I think you rode the 3 to 5 year wave of being the action guy. And I think he needs to start making his way back to being more comedic. I'm not saying that he can't be in shape or anything like that or do action movies, but this whole, like, I'm going to show up and just be handsome routine is just falling really flat for me. Because that's kind of what it feels like. It just seems like they're just using him because he's handsome. And it's in the same reason with the actress. They're just using her because she's pretty. She's a pretty crier. You know what I mean? And everybody in this movie is just kind of like,
Well, she has nothing to do.
No, she really does have no purpose. Making her an activist and not like a scientist of any kind anymore, and going from, I guess, being the person who runs the Jurassic Park to somebody who looks like she owns an Etsy business in a fucking town in Manhattan. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, it's sort of like, you know how in Independence Day 2, Vivica Fox was just a doctor all of a sudden? You remember when we were watching that? We were like, what in the fuck? And like how there's that scene where they go, like, all the president people stand up to the aliens and they all get mowed down. And then they just walk into frame the next scene and they go, you're sworn in. You're the president.
Yeah.
Told some random dude who's like not even like in the government. They're like, all of Congress was killed. You are the sergeant at arms. You're the bodyguard to the White House. You're the president now. You're the next in line.
Yep. So Jurassic World 3 was announced.
Oh, fuck. What's the title of that? Just Jurassic World 3?
There's no title yet, but Colin Trevorrow is doing the last one. And he did Jurassic World. So he's coming back to do the last.
Oh, good for you. Let's do a rating. Like, out of A, would you recommend this to somebody? And B, regardless if you would or not, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, how would you recommend people seeing it? How would you rate it?
As far as recommending it to people, I really wouldn't. I mean, if people ask me like, "Hey, it's on TV, should I watch it?" I'd be like, "I guess."
Yeah.
It's not. It's like about on par with like the other Jurassic Park sequels, like 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Jurassic, The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 aren't very good, and so this one's about as good as them. And I would put it at about like a 3.5 or 4 out of 10. Because the thing is, it's like if they didn't have the stupid clone thing, and then the ending of the dinosaurs like about to just like fuck up people, but then have that triumphant song at the end, then I would have given it like a 4 or a 5. But it's just like the ending of the movie, because like I'm of the opinion it's like they set out to make a stupid dinosaur movie, and if they do that, then it gets like a 4 or 5 because you did what you set out to do, and I didn't expect anymore. But it's just the fact that they tried to add these weird, stupid subplots and then this weird, stupid ending that makes me just sour on the whole thing. Because it's like,
You know what I would have done was when they brought up the clone thing. They were talking about how like, oh, Blue needs this because it'll think it's its mother, like it needs its code. You know what? When they made the girl a clone, they should have said, guess what? We put her DNA into Blue, which is why it ended up growing empathy. Like, so when she's watching this video and it's like, did you get that? It's like, so yeah, we used the same blood or similar blood, or we mixed blood from her clone into Blue, and that's why Blue became the more intelligent one, and all of that stuff. And then Blue later in the movie comes up to the girl and does the touch on her hand because Blue considers her its mom.
Yeah, or at the very least, it's like, at the very least, it's like
cheesy, I know, but
yeah. Well, I mean, you know, what would have been a better one is like one, put the mansion. Like the mansion is not where the dinosaur sail is, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. It's like just put the mansion where the dinosaur sail isn't. And the whole point is because then you could still put the girl in that situation. Because then it could be like she tells her grandfather about the secret dinosaur sail that's about to go down. And then like the guy's like, so here's how you could rewrite it to be better. It's like the sanctuary island the old man talks about. Like, he's like, oh, this is an island where they'll be left alone. But then the villain could be like, no, this island is actually going to be our secret dinosaur cattle pen. And we're going to grow dinosaurs forever, you know?
Yeah. Or like you said, it's self-sustaining.
Yeah, but it's like it's going to be like our private dinosaur, you know, factory farm. And, you know, you want a brontosaurus? We'll go get you a brontosaurus. You want 20 raptors? Well, by golly, we'll grow 20 raptors and then bring them to you.
Yeah, well, also...
And then, well, let me finish. Because then that way, when the girl tells the grandpa about the plan, instead of the bad guy locking her in her room, he could, like, drag her on the helicopter and then, like, take her to the island. And then he's like, old man, you better shut up because I took her to the island, you know, and I'll feed her to the dinosaurs if you fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then he's an actual villain.
Yeah, that's true. It's more physical and, like, taking actual physical action to become villainous, not just like, I'm a villain because I disagree with you.
Yeah. Well, it's like, and then he doesn't have to murder the old man because it's like, oh, I don't have to commit like a felony, you know, like a severe felony just to get a crippled old man to be quiet.
That's what did it for me. Is I was kind of like, that's stupid. Like the killing the old man, like that was kind of like,
yeah, it's like, why? He's a crippled old man who can't get to phones. Like he doesn't have a way to, you know, like he's more like you could just kill him with bed sores. You know, I mean, it's like he's not like a threat you need to murder immediately. But I thought that's a better plan. It's like, oh, I'm going to take your granddaughter and I'm going to take her to this fucking island. And if you call the police or tell anyone what I'm doing, I will feed her to the dinosaurs. So fuck you.
Yeah,
And
I
then,
like that. I like that. I like the idea of maybe it's a little too schlocky, but I like the idea of since she's a clone, they don't mess with her. And she becomes like one of the stars of the next movie because they go, listen, you thought Chris Pratt could control Blue. This girl can control the other ones because he's a clone and clones won't hurt other clones. You know what I mean?
Or at the very least, it's like that could be a good way to spin it off for the end. And then it's like, you know, they let the dinosaurs out on this island, you know, and then it's like, oh, we let the dinosaurs out of this cattle pen facility onto the island for them to live free. And then you don't have to worry about the plot of the next movie tying into this one. And you can just do whatever you want. You could literally just be like, oh, Dr. Wu took all that DNA. You know, he stole it. And then he cloned dinosaurs on the mainland. And now it's gotten out of control. But hey, there's this little girl that's on a private island resort, and she's living on her own with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. And turns out she has a link with the Raptors.
She has a link because they were cloned in the same method. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like they have.
Maybe she isn't like the mother, but maybe the machine that made them, that cloned them, they have some kind of link up because they use the same machine, the same wirings. The only difference was dinosaur eggs and human eggs. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. But it's just one of those things where it's like, that's a better way to do it. But the whole thing that just like irked me was you guys had all these weird subplots that don't pay off and don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of all that, it's just like, you got this. It's not a fun movie. It's not that entertaining. It's mostly just this one dinosaur violently killing people and ripping their arms off and shit.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think I would rate it what you said about 3.5 to 4 out of 10. That's probably about what I would rate it. I would not recommend this movie to people, mostly because for kids, I don't think it's that fun. For adults, I don't think it's gory enough. I think it kind of borders on camp. It's cheesy. The plot holes are huge. The characters are two-dimensional. You don't really care about anybody. The only exciting part of the movie, for me personally, was the volcano shit, just because I thought that actually raised the stakes more than just like to where it was like the dinosaurs had something to be afraid of.
Yeah.
It wasn't human related. It was just nature, because I was thinking the whole movie was going to go along the lines of, listen, these dinosaurs, this is their second extinction event. It's going to happen again. Okay, and there's nothing we can do, and this mountain is like bigger than Mount St. Helens, and if it blows, not only will it kill the dinosaurs, it'll kill the ecosystem of the area. Like it'll hurt the humans, you know what I mean? To where like, it's more like a 2012, like we're trying to stop an apocalyptic or cataclysmic event from happening, not just to save the dinosaurs, but to save the planet, you know, and I mean, hence Jurassic World. But I thought it was very frustrating. I thought the first half of this movie was cringe-inducing. Like the setup, the dialogue, the acting, blah. A lot of the actors were kind of abysmal. At least I don't like a lot of their choices. The whole thing just felt very flat to me and felt very forced. It felt very fake. It wasn't real, and they were playing so by the studio book that it just took away all art. It didn't seem artistic at all. It seemed like a calculated movie where everything was like, we can't do too much, we can't do too little, we can't be too violent, we can't be too happy. We can't have an actress who's too good, because then you'll feel bad for her. You know, if the effects are too good, you'll think the dinosaurs are violent. You know, and they just never stuck with anything.
Absolutely.
They never really stuck to their devices. So I would not recommend it. Luckily for me, I didn't have to pay for the ticket. The worst part of this experience was I had to pay the $3 at the parking meter when I left, even after I got it validated, because I got there too early. And so they're like, oh, this validation is good for like 2.5 hours. And I guess I got there for 3 hours. And so they go, for that 30 minutes, you have to pay like $3. And I was like, God damn it.
How'd you get it for free?
I had, hold on a sec. My parents, my mom in particular, I'd say my mom actually, she got me a couple of these, where like there are these AF.
Oh, yeah.
Admit one, right? So I think this is actually under my name. So I think my mom signed me up without telling me to some sort of thing. And every now and then they send you these free movie ticket vouchers. So I had 2 and I used 1. I'm saving this for something that you and I actually want to see. But I can't use them in Oklahoma, but I can use it here. But yeah, don't go see this movie. Wait for it to be on TV. Even then, there will be a lot better movies out, and there are so many other good movies to go out there and see. Go see Shape of Water again. It's way better creature feature. Alec and I both loved that movie. That has characters. That makes bold decisions. And it's sweet. It's a sweet story. So, on that note, that is Alec and I's rambling, tangential review of Jurassic World 2 Electric Boogaloo. And if what else?
If you feel like giving up, on life, you hit that like.
Yeah, if you enjoyed the stream, if you made it to the end, like I said before, you're a champ. If you put up with this for 2 hours and 45 minutes or whatever it is, it's a long time. I know that, but Alec and I just wanted to mostly do this just because we like talking to each other. It's been a while since we did a live stream, and when we do these movie reviews, they're also kind of like our catch-up weeks. So that's good. I'll be doing a catch-up stream with Alec again, I think, here in the next, I said sometime next week. We'll find a time to do one. We'll make it kind of short, maybe make it like an hour or something like that. And we'll just talk about what we've been up to and shit that's been going on with me, shit that's been going on with Alec, and our day-to-day drama. And
or I could make you see another shitty movie.
We will see. But I'll say this: I'll pay for the next one. I'm going to save that free ticket for something else.
Yeah. Let's see. What fucking awful movie can I make you watch next?
Well, awful movies are out there.
Let's see. There's The First Purge.
God, why would they? Spoiler alert: The First Purge was the first fucking movie called The Purge. In everybody's mind. I get that they're like, well, we never said technically that it was the first Purge. It's like the first Purge was actually okay.
There's a horror movie called The Nun. It's about a spooky nun.
Oh, I had a story. I have several stories about spooky nuns, and it's called My Lower School Experience.
Let's see. Let's look at August. Oh, The Darkest Minds, a young adult movie about teens with superpowers. I saw the trailer for that before Jurassic World.
How was that?
It made me like actively want to quit life because it's just like that is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous looking thing.
We can see Hey Mama Mia. Here we go again.
Yeah. We could see The Happy Time Murders, which at first, when I first heard about this movie, I thought it was a good idea. And then I saw the trailer and what it was actually about. And I was like, oh, Oh, it's actually really bad. It stars Melissa McCarthy,
Oh
and
boy.
it's essentially about it's a giant ripoff of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
But whereas Who Framed Roger Rabbit was like very well written and revolutionized filmmaking in the way it seamlessly blended traditional animation with live action film.
Yeah.
This movie is just puppets that swear a lot.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if Sesame Street looking puppets swore a lot? You know that joke that Robot Chicken made like 10 years ago?
Yeah, it's not an original thought, and I'm sorry, things with puppets or Muppets or cartoons, it's getting harder and harder for me as I get older because I'm getting so cynical that like to watch those with like legitimate enjoyment and not out of some kind of irony. But you know,
Oh, there's also a movie on Slender Man. Want to see a horror movie about Slender Man?
is it a short film?
No, it's like a feature-length film about Slender Man.
Well, yeah, I guess that's fine.
They're doing another Predator movie, so that's fun.
Well, that'll go unseen.
There's a Robin Hood that's there's like 2 Robin Hood movies coming out this year for some fucking reason.
It's like that year when there were 2 Hercules movies that came out.
Yeah, which the one with The Rock is actually like it's a crappy movie, but had like a great idea that it doesn't bother to do anything with. Because essentially what it does is it keeps playing with the notion of whether or not like mythological things are real, you know, and it kind of like keeps kind of like fucking with that line, but it doesn't amount to anything. So it's kind of like inconsequential. But I was like, God, that would have been like the movie right there of like him doing all these like the trials of Hercules. But he's not sure whether or not it's actually like real, you know?
Yeah, that would be interesting. Like he was just like a crazy dude, like the whole time. He was in a coma the whole time.
Oh, here we go. Venom.
Oh yeah, we need to see Venom.
We can watch Venom. That's a good bad one.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know how that's gonna be.
They're remaking Halloween. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's not my thing though.
They're doing Mowgli, so they're doing the Jungle Book again, except this time it's not fun.
Yeah. See, God, it's just like exhausting me hearing all these names, but we'll find one. I think Venom is the first one I've heard that I was like okay with seeing probably.
Well, there's hold on, we're not done yet, sir. They're doing a version of The Grinch. I saw a trailer for that.
That actually looked like it was going to be a great movie for kids to see. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, if I was a kid, I would genuinely really want to see this.
Yeah. Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. We actually have to see that because we laughed. Because we laughed hysterically at Fantastic Beasts for like 3 hours.
Packed. Where you go, David, what are you doing for the next 20 years? And I go, what do you mean? And you just go, because we're going to have to see each one of these Fantastic Beasts movies. So this is sort of like Alec and I's Harry Potter. We're going to have to go and see all of these and review them because it's like the last time, Alec's right, the last time we saw it, I think we laughed for 3 or 4 hours straight afterwards, just referencing it, making fun of it, particularly Eddie Redmayne. I'm looking for my house.
Yeah, dude, that shit was great. It's what we need more of.
Yeah, we definitely need more of those. Alec and I love those types of movies. You can shit all over it, and really nobody can say anything because just by admitting that they saw it denotes any kind of opinion they have. So, anyway.
And then one time, one of them will be like really good, and then we'll be blown away, and we'll be the guys who were like, we stuck with it the whole time.
Yeah, we vowed in 2015 that we were going to keep it alive. And fuck yeah, man. My kids see Fantastic Beasts. It's their favorite movie.
And then J.K. Rowling is like, you were the last two people that like watched or read anything that I did because I suck. Here's $1 million a piece. J.K. Rowling sucks. I'll fight anyone on that. No. I got beef against her. Because, like, so she wrote Harry Potter and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then she wrote a book under a different name. And it got ripped to pieces by critics. People said, like, this is the shittiest book I've ever written. Whoever this new author is, they need to stop writing. and then she re-released the book with her name on it, and then suddenly, 180 on those reviews.
Yeah.
5 stars. And I'm like, oh, fuck off. You all thought it was a shitty book because she can't write.
Yeah.
And so because she knows she can't write, she goes back to the Harry Potter world. And she's like, okay, so there's a website called Pottermore.
Oh, God.
And it's like the official J.K. Rowling's sanctioned Harry Potter website. And so she gets on there and like writes shit for the fans, like Harry Potter lore stuff. Like for Fantastic Beasts, like the American wizarding scene.
Yeah.
That's all in Pottermore. Like, she wrote about all that shit in Pottermore before the movie came out.
Weird.
Yeah, like, all that really stupid crap. Like, that's all stuff she created. She's like, and that's the whole thing. It's like she can't do anything but the Harry Potter series, and the Harry Potter series doesn't have any legs, Lieutenant Dan. Like, it just doesn't. Fucking, there's no...
We got no legs, Jake.
There's just not a lot there, and... She said, "Yeah, it's like the Harry Potter world. I'm sorry, it finished. Harry beat fucking Snakeface, and that was the end of it."
Voldemort, not Snakeface.
Snakeface is better.
No, that's your version. That's like the Spider-Man version.
You know,
Spider-Man fights Snakeface.
No, it's Scarface fought Snakeface. It's like a G.I. Joe movie.
Say hello to my little friend.
But yeah, it's fucking Harry Potter garbage. I'm sorry.
Well, like next week for our live stream about Alex saying Harry Potter is garbage.
But that's kind of what we need to do for one of these live streams. Is like go through all the Harry. Actually, no, there you go. That's something we can do when you get back here for the holidays.
Yeah,
we will live stream and we will go through every one of these fucking movies.
We need to do that. And whatever happened to that one thing that we did on your channel where it was us talking about our guilty pleasure Christmas movies?
I don't know. I think maybe it's on there. Maybe it's not.
If it is, we could also release that like while I'm back during the holidays, and we can put on my channel if you want.
Or smoke crack.
Or smoke crack. Or we could just do like another one in general where it's like movies to watch during the holidays that have nothing to do with Christmas.
Movies to watch during the holidays when you want to just, quit.
Yeah, things you want to watch when you just want to quit. And so it's like, what's your favorite Christmas movie? It's like Django Unchained.
Here's something to watch when your life feels like a Linkin Park album.
What about the concert? No, I feel you there.
Oh, Jesus. All right, sir, I think we're ready to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, hey, everybody, once again, if you made it to the end of this stream, you are truly a champion. Give this video a like just for you. Leave a comment if you want to hear what Alec and I have to say about your comment. Don't send Alec hate mail. Send me.
I won't read it, so.
Alec doesn't know how to read.
Exactly. That's why I watch movies.
Yeah, like right now he's in those headphones. He's not listening to this. He's listening on how to say things phonetically. Your name is Alec.
No. What I'm listening to is I'm listening to the pre-recorded script.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like someone's whispering me my lines out of frame.
You're like Eric Roberts on that set.
Yeah. So I'm just having a whispered to me.
Hey, sweetie, your line is some punk named Trent and some gangster named DJ. Some gangster named Trent and some punk named DJ.
Good enough.
Wait till you see this, you guys. All right. Anyways, I'm David Grayson. This is The Walking David. Thank you again to my best friend Alec Brown. Beneath there, Alex, give your wave goodbye. Give your Beverly Hillbillies your best. He's waving like the queen. If anybody's a queen, it's Alex. So, anyways, I will talk to you all soon. We'll probably be making one of these again shortly, and I look forward to it, buddy. Alec.
What?
I wanted you to say you look forward to it too.
Okay.
If I say I love you, what are you gonna say?
I'm gonna say wizards.
I wizards you too, Alec. All right. Good night, everyone. Try not to wet your pants.